All right, let's call the meeting to order. And then, rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just so everybody knows it's here, I guess there was an issue with us approving the planning commission minutes. That wasn't meant to be on the agenda in that way. We typically get a copy and we just review them, but we don't really approve the planning commission minutes because we weren't, obviously, most of us weren't there. So on tonight's agenda, I got a couple things to add under presentations. Randolph Fire wants to introduce the new fire chief, correct? And Drew Roach is here. Was here?
He's here.
Oh, there he is, okay. I was gonna say,
Do you need me to stand up or what?
no, we'll call you when your time is up. And yeah.
So is that under presentation or?
That's gonna both be under presentations. And then the only other thing I've got is on the Chronicle, the BIOS becoming a city. We were also gonna list the selling of that park, whether the residents were for that or not. So that would be under new business, where it says Chronicle. I don't know if you want to add it or not, but just so I don't forget the
In the, selling the park, you said?
selling of the park. Yes, we have a park that we have gone back and forth on whether we should sell or not. Okay, anybody else got anything else? Norb?
I might want 2 minutes after Nancy, okay, it being a supervisor to represent the planning commission. It's a questionable one, we'll see how things play out.
Okay, all right, well, that's fine. We'll zip you in there. Jordan?
No.
BJ? Nope.
Pete, I'm good.
Oh, come on. You always have something to add.
I usually do, but I see pretty
Okay.
much everything on here I think we need to cover.
Okay.
Can we move the treasure stuff up further?
Well, she's not here tonight.
I know, well, it makes no difference, but I suppose, but.
Yeah. I know she talked to me about being close up, so she
I know,
earlier.
I know, I talked to her about it too.
Yeah, but she wasn't here tonight, so I didn't figure it mattered.
Put the treasurer's report up, so she don't have to sit the whole meeting and, I mean, up towards
She
the
doesn't want to
front.
talk in front of people, that's why she likes it last.
Well, she's got to pick one or the other then.
Well, it's,
Okay.
treasurer's report's just
Sandy,
numbers on a
Just
piece
a
of
quick
paper.
question about the website, just a quick one.
we are going to get to, we're going to talk about the website under committee reports.
Community reports.
Unless you just want to make a public comment, you can do it
I
under
can do
public comment.
that, sure.
Okay,
And
just let me
then
know
we
when
can
public
discuss
comment.
it further, maybe you don't have that about the website.
Yep, yeah, when public comment comes up. just raise
Okay,
your
sure,
hand.
just a quick one.
Yep, okay. All right, so do I have a motion to
So,
approve the?
one second, so under review and approval, all those planning commission minutes, we're not doing
We're gonna
another
review
review
and
and approve.
No.
Okay, no, we're not gonna do all them, no.
Okay, I can cross all them off.
The
Okay,
only one I have a question
So
on
I'm guessing we were just getting those because we maybe hadn't gotten in the past.
correct,
So
that's
it
what I
was-
thought too.
It was more
Yep.
of a review instead of we're not approving it.
Sounds good.
Somebody said that it was a review versus just, or approve versus review, and just the flip-flop of the two words made me believe that you
Yep.
guys had to approve them.
Yep.
Which you don't, which leads us to where we are today, so.
We usually have them in our packet. I like to read them like if someone's coming in for a permit.
Provide
You know, just to
context.
kind of, yeah, figure out how they arrived at their decision. Yeah, that's it. We're good.
Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Nor makes a motion, do I have a second?
DJ.
BJ seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, so if we don't want to do anything with the planning commission minutes, then we can just, we can move on, we got enough to do tonight, so. The Board of Supervisor, though, January minutes, did everybody have a chance to read that? Did anybody find anything that they were concerned about? I didn't find anything. George, you good? Norm?
Under solar manual, who's JS?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Who's JS?
Jerry Larson.
JS?
Oh,
Oh, should have been JL.
yeah.
Okay.
There's how many JS's?
Where are we at?
Oh,
They're all JS's.
okay. Well, there you go, now you got
Oh.
something you can fix. Just
Okay.
got change into JLs.
Where is that, where are you looking, which one are you looking
It's on the second page,
So, like,
under solar manual and stuff in that.
So like who made the motion?
Yeah.
Any place where I made a motion, you put in JS versus JL. I flew right by that one.
You get tunnel vision when you're.
Yes.
Yes, I know you do, but
Okay, that's
I
a
know
good
that.
catch.
It's just a spelling error, but
Okay, so we get that corrected. BJ, got anything? Nope. Pete, got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the Board of Supervisor January minutes?
for?
So moved.
Pete makes a motion, do I have a second?
second,
Mark seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Public comment, you're up first, Andy.
Okay, just quickly, 2 years ago at the annual meeting, it was suggestion, there was a motion made to put the draft agenda on the Castle Rock website for people to look up in case they wanted to come to the meeting. Well, it didn't happen, so last year, it was brought up again, and that said it would be taken care of, but I'm not sure how many times it has been put on the website this year, so can we get,
I'm the one that puts it on there,
okay?
and, you know, Nikki's new now, so typically I get it on Wednesday, and I try and get it on there on Thursday. And then, so it should be on there by the weekend. Sometimes I forget on Thursday, and then I do it on Friday, but I don't think I've ever missed getting it on there before the
It's
weekend.
not on there for this meeting
Yeah, it
tonight?
wasn't.
Oh, you know what, yeah, because we never got an agenda, and that kind of, I mean, we got an email with an attachment, and yes, I apologize, this month I may have missed that.
Okay, so.
I thought I got it on there, but, no, if it's not there, I believe you, I'm just saying that I missed
Right,
it.
because we do all look for that, so.
Yeah, no, if it's not there, I just missed getting it on there, that's my bad.
Real quick, it's kind of the same thing, your annual minutes from 2023, 2024, and 2025 are missing as well.
Correct.
The annual meeting ones?
Annual meetings. Can we get those on there?
As soon as I get them, and that was one of those, we were always asking Molly, but you know, like Pete, we've gone around and around on this. We want them to go back and get all this old stuff and get it so we can get it on the website. The problem is, and I think now that we have 2 full-time people, almost full-time in the office, we're gonna try and get minutes updated, going backwards. We're gonna try and get all these annual meeting minutes that are missing on there.
So what years did you say, 23 and forward?
23, 24, and 25, and clearly those are the most important for a lot of us, you know, we want to
Sure.
go back to, so if that could be a priority, we'd love it, just because those 23, 24, 25 are all missing.
Yep. So you can add that whenever you have time.
Yep,
you know.
we'll make the, make that
And
the
I think what
priority.
we've always done is we kind of work the most current and then work our way backwards to try and pick up on the stuff we're missing. But yeah, there was a lot when we went to the new website.
Because those
That-
are under special meeting minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't, for some reason, Sam said he either couldn't find them or he couldn't drag them over. And that.
Just quickly, I understand there is a Castle Rock community page which our agenda was on, because someone came to the township,
Oh,
I guess,
okay.
and got an agenda and put it on there. But it should actually be put on the official website, so people know that's the official.
Yes,
track.
and honestly, people, if it's not on there by Friday, and then call me, send me an email, whatever, and say, where's the agenda, and then I will get in touch with Nikki, because the problem is on Friday, you know, if you call here, Nikki's not here on Fridays. So that's not gonna work for you. So call me, and then I'll call Nikki and say, hey, we need the agenda.
And as
So
I get just,
You can't just do it, like your job?
I don't have it.
No, when you get it.
let
Oh,
me,
yes.
let
We
me,
don't have to call to remind you, right, to do your job?
Well, let's see, I've been doing it for 2 years, and I guess this is the first time it came up, so I'm sorry I made a mistake, and I missed it this
No, that's
time.
not, I was talking to you telling me to call you.
No, I'm saying if it's not there. Normally, I will always have it there, but I'm just saying if I make a mistake, if I screw up, just shoot me an email and say, hey, where's the agenda? And
Okay.
then I'll say, shoot, I forgot to do that. Because, you know, I think you guys understand, it's not a full-time job for us, and, you know, I'm doing other things too, so. But again, it's not my desire to miss doing that, but it happened this time.
Okay.
And it also is because it got sent to me in a different way, I mean, you know,
format,
Well, yeah, you sent me a Microsoft link, and that's why I guess I kind of missed it. So, but when you sent it to me, did you do that? Put it right in the email, make sure you get this on the website. That'll be my reminder too, so I apologize for that. Okay, anything else under public comment? Going once, going twice. All right, that's gone. All right, so we have two presentations tonight. We have the new fire chief from Randolph. You get to come up in front and stand and talk that way, because if people want to hear you, we got good ears up here, but sometimes they want to make sure they can hear what you're saying, so.
Wow, I guess you really meant presentation, didn't you?
Well, we'd like to meet you. You're the guy that may be putting my house out when it's caught on fire.
There you go. Yes, my name's Chris Opelt. I am with the Randolph Hampton Fire District. I've been with the district for 19 years. Kevin Whitson recently retired as of 12/31 of 25 after 32 years serving the community. So we really appreciate all his time and effort he put into the district. First of all, I wanted to come and introduce myself, and then secondly, I wanted to come and invite the board to come to our March annual meeting, which is March 5th, next month. We feed you, and then we kind of talk about our plans for the district, and we talk through our budget and stuff like that. So that's really all I had. Obviously, as I get more and more into this role, right, my intentions are to probably be here quarterly. If you guys feel that I need to be here every month, you can surely let me know. I can definitely try to do that, or I can have a representation, or someone represented here. But that's kind of my goal, would be here once a month, or sorry, once a quarter. So
That'd be great.
Question.
yeah.
Would you guys consider taking on more?
I already asked her, and I got shot.
Like the whole township?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be, and we talked about it, it'd be a very challenging thing for us to do. We do operate out of 2 stations with 28 volunteers. So sometimes our daytime staffing, we might only get 5-6 guys, to an incident. So it's can be somewhat challenging to take on more coverage area, but it is something that definitely has been asked.
So you wouldn't consider putting up another station?
If you could get enough people to, if we could get enough people from the township that would be willing to volunteer their time, then it might be something that we'd be able to.
Nor volunteer firemen?
Yeah, we don't age discriminate, right? Everybody can be on it, so as long as you're over the age of 18. So.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you've heard about the proposed solar farm that's coming in. So we're trying to put it in our ordinances to block them from putting in battery banks.
I was not aware of solar facility coming in here, guys.
1,300 acres.
Yeah, it's been dumped on us. We have no say in it.
Okay.
But anyway, there's
Is it
talks.
in mine going to be in our coverage area or part of it?
Part of it is.
Where is it located? I'll look into it.
So it'll run along both sides of 225th Street, east of Biscayne, to Annette generally, and then it'll scoot up on both sides of Annette a little bit, and it will.
All the way over to.
Then that's our line.
Yeah, east of Annette you've got. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you're, because I know it kind of stair steps.
Yeah, so I think it goes to net right up to 50. So.
So my question is, if they do put in battery banks, we're trying to put in ordinances that won't allow them to do that. But if they do you have the resources to fight a fire that way?
Tending water is kind of what our thing. We do have 3 2,000-gallon tenders, but shoveling water would be a challenge.
This battery facility will cover 6.8 square miles.
No, acres.
Was it acres? Acres, I'm sorry, acres.
Yeah, that would be pretty tough for us.
Apparently you can't fight them with water anyways, right?
I don't even know. Like I said, I need to look into how they're even suggesting you deal with these.
So would it be a lot like the new cars, they say you have to pretty much smother them out, rather, you can't put them out with water?
I would assume so. Yeah. You basically submerge them in water.
How do you submerge 6.8 acres?
With all their helicopters.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Not just put the bird on water.
I appreciate you putting it on my radar. I'll definitely take a look at it. And is there a proposed plot or plan for this that you guys have that could get?
It's been approved by the state, we didn't have any.
The plan's on our website.
Okay,
right?
I'll go grab it.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'll plan on coming back next month and we can maybe have a little bit better discussion about it. That sound good?
Yeah.
So Jordan, you mentioned that the solar thing got dumped on us.
Yep.
How did they get interested in Castle Rock? You know?
Well, I think we
I
all.
mean, did they just come or did somebody invite them?
It started with Cole Hampy wanted to do something else with his land that he owns. So then he reached out to the solar people to say, hey, and they're always looking for property. So he reached out to them, and then once that started the ball rolling, then they go through the township and look for other people that are willing to rent their land to them. And then that's once they acquire enough land that they can put in the massive size, because they have to get to a certain size, then they can bypass the township and then they can go right to the state and get.
Wasn't there a
from the
point
state.
where somebody would say that in this circumstance with the residential layout, that it would be a bad idea?
That came from the state, so there's a guy here tonight that might have a little information.
Okay.
How we get stuck with that type of, that is a concern of ours down here, that we're kind of like Pete said, we're kind of a land bank, is whenever the Twin Cities needs a place to dump a solar farm or a data center or whatever, let's just go down into Castle Rock or Eureka or dump them and stuff like that, so. They go through the PUC to get all their approval, and that's where, it chaps us that we don't get really any say whatsoever in it. They work with us a little bit, but I don't know how much, so, yeah. All right,
It was my understanding they're following the big power lines also. It's also my understanding that when the solar company, the first one that came in here, which was now sold to another solar company, that they went from farmer to farmer and they say, you don't have to put solar in, but sign this paper if you are just interested in solar. So they sign the paper, they take all of this paperwork to the Public Utilities Commission and say, see, we have all of these people interested in solar. That's was one of the reasons I was told how it kind of got promoted in Castle Rock.
and she's right about that, they do follow the lines, because once they create all that electricity, they want an easy place to upload it to. And that saves their costs if they build them next to existing power lines, so, okay. All right, sir, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, appreciate you coming down here, introducing yourself.
Looking forward to seeing you guys next month.
All right, thank you. Drew, you are the man of the hour now.
All right,
Does everybody know who Drew is?
Drew Roach, I'm the state representative for 58B. To be honest, Nikki had reached out. I'm happy to answer any questions about data centers. I think that was the premise of it. I didn't necessarily come with a specific presentation. I know some members were trying to get a hold of me, so if I could be of any help or answer any questions, maybe now's not the time, but I'd be more than happy to answer anything that Ford or anybody has.
I think the residents will have some questions for you, so
Sure.
you guys.
I'd have some questions too.
Yeah.
So we're getting this solar farm dumped on us, and if they bring in this battery bank, from what I've heard, it takes tremendous fire resources to fight it, and our fire bills are already outrageous. Like, we can't afford them. Farmington is raising our rates again this year.
Yeah.
They're dumping on us. Like we're fighting to survive. We're losing all of our land. Is there anything you can do to give protections to us smaller townships?
Well,
Like, we're not going to exist anymore
yeah.
if something doesn't change.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I don't sit on energy. So some of these things that are happening, these gray areas that they're finding, to be able to dump them on you, to be honest, I don't have enough information on to give you. But what I can do is look into it and definitely get some drafting of bills. Be more than happy to take your guys' input on that, where you guys would be protected and they would have to come through the city, right, the township. Because at the end of the day, this is a workaround to bypass, townships that otherwise would probably be against it. They know the game, they know how it's played, and that's what they do. And it's not, it shouldn't happen, I'm not condoning it by any means, but we definitely got to find a mechanism in the legislature to pass a bill that requires them to come through the townships and make sure that they're just not bypassing it with, you know, a bunch of landowners that may not know what they're getting themselves into, right? So I don't have the specific answer for you, but I definitely would be more than happy to work with you and try to get an answer or, you know, a potential solution to something to prevent it in the future, for sure.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So you did co-sponsor a bill last year, right, about size and zoning
Yep.
related, right?
Yep.
Did that ever get like any traction, or like what was kind of the temperature of that when you brought it up?
So they played, there's some tactics that was used. One, you know, in the House, we got off to a 23-day late start, right? Because we had some members of the body that didn't show up for 23 days. So we lost 3 weeks of committee meetings and opportunities to pass bills, so there was that. Two, what TRAC did specifically is they made an agreement to do to have labor union, to have union labor at that. So we were fighting an uphill battle between labor unions, the Chamber of Commerce, and other lobbying groups to try to kill our bill, right? To try to get as much support from the outside against our bill. Now, with that said, it's not dead by any means, and we have more and more representatives, more and more legislators that are more educated now on just the dangers of the fast track of these data centers, right? I think the majority of people aren't anti-data center, but it's about making sure we're doing it responsibly, putting them in the right areas, having, you know, input from the community members, from boards, that making sure that they're doing it responsible, because the way they're trying to put these through, you know, both Farmington, the city of Farmington, and the state of Minnesota, our budget, we're in budget crisis, right? Like, they look at us as a target to be able to leverage municipalities versus the state, individuals versus the community, and they do that by coming to smaller towns that could use the tax revenue. Farmington, for instance, has got they require a lot of the individual property owner to take up a majority of their tax base. We lack the commercial tax base, so they have these companies come in, promise them the world, and then those same companies go to the state legislature and you know, ask for tax abatements for the same taxes that they're promising these individuals. Leveraging, saying, you need the money, we've got the labor union support, you need the jobs, you're in a budget crisis, you want us to walk or no? So they put them, they create these leverage points that are just, they're disingenuous, right? And that's just the honest truth. I would love to be able to have a data center come in here that's responsible, that's respectful to the community, that's a legitimate stakeholder, that's going to give the promises that they say they're going to do. But as of right now, that's an unknown thing, right? It's just, from what I've seen, it's empty promises. So because of that, and because of, you know, the 2040 carbon-free initiative that we're looking at, and you're looking at the total aggregate amount of data centers and the water consumption and the energy usage, if we were to take all of those into account, which they don't, right? They don't take the aggregate into account. They're individualized. But when we look at the aggregate amount, we're going to be in a world of trouble if these go through and get passed, because we don't have some of the infrastructure that we need to be able to sustain that. And so because of that, and because more legislators are getting educated on that, and just the fears of the aggregate amount being passed, I think we're going to see a lot more, you know, movement on our particular bill. Now, the bill that I have, both Senator Lesky, he's the author in the Senate, I'm the author in the House. That specifically helps identify what a large-scale data center is, because we recognize that many municipalities and townships didn't have a definition for that, right? So these data centers can come in and finagle their way in and find a zoning that just works, because there's not a whole lot of language that identifies and defines what they are. And so what we're trying to do is define what a large-scale data center is at the state level. And like I said, as more and more legislators become more educated on just where we're at, I think we're gonna get a little bit more wedged.
So like have one uniform definition for everybody.
For data centers that are over 800,000 square feet, right? Making them be put in, zoned into an industrial, right? Because like what we were dealing with in Farmington was they pop it in a mixed-use industrial, and it really doesn't fit. When you compare that to other data centers that are two-thirds the size smaller, and they're an industrial, like it's, you know, and I understand where the council's coming from. They're trying to alleviate that tax, you know, the tax burden on the individual property owner, but there's, you know, unforeseen circumstances that come with these, you know, jobs, right? Including a trout stream that's, you know, great in our community. So we don't want to lose those things, right? So, you know, that's where we're at. And with that said, I'm hopeful, and I'm sure there's going to be other bills. So that's not necessarily the bill that is going to, you know, be the huge benchmark or definer. Hopefully, it will help our community define what a data center is, and you know, we'll see.
Anybody else have any questions? Sandy?
Are you going to require an EIS to be done on data centers as is required of all mines in Minnesota by state law?
Yeah, I believe in our bill it touches on it. Yeah. Yep. Because that was part of it. They finagled their way to getting it zoned that way by not going through that process. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about just real quick, if you could just quick summarize, how do you, when you're up at the Capitol, can you tell us how our fight looks when you talk to other legislators?
Well, I honestly say almost every single person I've talked to totally thinks that what's happening in Farmington with that data center is completely unwrong. I don't think there's one person that's like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. What do you mean? They recognize the fact that they're trying to put it in that location, and it really doesn't fit. It's just the fact. Again, I understand why they're coming to that. They're really trying to help the tax base, but when you force it on the people and have no input on it, right? I mean, many residents here have spoken for hours, you know, at length, ad nauseum, just trying to have their voice be heard. Matter of fact, Senator Lesky and I, when I got elected last session, Tract had reached out to me and wanted to have a meeting. And I said, sure. So I scheduled a meeting with Senator Lesky and myself. Unbeknownst to them, I had community members waiting for them in the conference room when they showed up. So they were a little bit taken back and surprised that we wanted the input of our community members to be there, because if you want to have a conversation with us, you're going to have a conversation with our constituents as well. So.
Any other questions from anybody? Now's your time.
This is our guy.
Okay.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, thank
Absolutely.
you very much for coming down today. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Drew.
All righty. So we're done with presentations. Road report with the mild weather. I got nothing really to report there unless anybody has had any comments on the roads in the township. Any concerns? Anything in particular? Okay. All right, so I got, there's something on roads, but I think it's gonna be down below, so. Unfinished business, we'll start on that. Credit card for the town hall. Okay, I've been working with a guy from Bank of America, going back and forth. And the bottom line is, we're not gonna get a bank to issue us a credit card unless somebody personally guarantees it. We came up with a solution though. If we do a deposit with them, so in other words, we would send Bank of America $2,050. Doesn't have to be that number, but I'm giving that as an example. They would take $2,000, put it into a secure area. They will then issue us a credit card, and we can run up to $2,000 on that credit card per month. And then when we get our statement, we send them money, they put it back into that account.
It's just a prepaid credit card.
Prepaid credit card. The $50, they have to leave in another account just so that we have an account with them. It's just a policy thing at the bank. That's why he said there'll be an extra $50 you have to deposit. We can do $1,050, we can do whatever we want. I did ask him, will there be any guarantees or safety nets on that credit card? Yes. He said if there's a charge on there that you guys did not authorize, Bank of America will not pay it, and we will not, we'll get your money back. So he said, treat it more like a credit card than a debit card where your money's just gone. He said, we will have our back to fight for.
So your max exposure is where you've got a deposit.
Right.
So our maximum disclosure would be, irregardless, let's say somebody did get it and they couldn't, the worst we'd be out would be $2,000. And I only throw $2,000 out there because I picked a number out of the air. You could do 1,500, we could do 1,000. It's whatever the board thinks on that. I told Matt is his name. I told Matt, I said I would bring it to the board and then see what the board wants to do. And
I think any bank would do that, wouldn't they?
That's
That's pretty big. I mean, I think every bank does it.
we tried Castle Rock. Nope, nothing to do with it.
They don't do prepaid?
Put it this way, Bank of America, it was like 6 phone calls to get to this situation. He had to call a banker and talk to some person and whatever to get it approved because he said, we normally don't ever do anything like this. And when I called Wells Fargo and some of the other ones, I got nowhere with them. Now, I'm not saying if we called Wells Fargo and said, hey, what if we did this, that Wells Fargo might say, well, let us check and I'll have to send an email off to my boss and try and get approval on this. I'm just saying, do we want to start,
You think it'd be pretty safe for the bank, because they wouldn't be out anything.
But they're not making any interest on it.
Oh, sure, you're right.
But
Trust me, Pete, I beat my head on the wall on this one.
Yeah.
And, trying to get
Okay.
them.
Well, at least you found one.
start with $1,000, see how it goes.
Yep.
He was the only guy that actually would work with us. Wells Fargo, I called, what's the other big one, Bank, not Bank of America, what's the other?
US.
US Bank, I called them, just shot me down. Said, no, not interested. And the reason why we can't do a credit card is because you have to do, like as a nonprofit, you have to do $100,000 a year in business. And we don't do $100,000 a year in business, so that's why we don't qualify as a nonprofit. So if you want, I can continue on with him and we can get the credit card, but yes, we would be leaving $2,000, well, $2,050 or $1,000 if we do that with them, and we would not be, my understanding is we would not be getting any interest on there. I didn't get to that point in the conversation. I figured
Just
I'd
like you don't pay any interest, you pay on time, pertaining ahead of time.
But yeah, like I say, I don't know what other options are because we do have certain bills like the Microsoft account that you just can't pay it. Yeah, you just can't pay it any other way. So therefore, if somebody else has got a better solution, I didn't think it'd be this hard.
When he was talking $100,000 of business, is that credit card business or just banking business?
Revenue. We have to have 100,000 in revenue.
Okay.
So in other words, like he said, like, let's say you were the Red Cross, you're a nonprofit organization, but you take in $600,000 a year and you run it through your account. He said, then we would give you a credit card, as a nonprofit organization, but we don't qualify as a nonprofit. I mean, Nikki was there when we were going through the thing, and he kept asking me, he says, well, are you a 401c, are you a this or that? I said, we're a government agency, and he literally said, we don't give credit cards to government agencies. And I'm like, okay, why not? And he says, because government agencies normally don't want them, they use debit cards. Because I suppose, a place like St. Paul, or, look at the Capitol, they must have debit cards at the state, right, that people use? You didn't get one?
They don't
give me one. Okay.
When I was saying 100,000 business, like we take.
Because we have like $500,000 and.
Right, and we're paying out $400,000 a year.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were looking for. I think they were looking for revenue. That's why I kind of.
Our revenue was over 300,000.
Right, yeah, we're well over 100.
Okay. We gave him all the numbers, and it got declined. And I called him, and he talked to his boss then and called me back, and he said, nope, they're just not gonna do it. So Pete, maybe I'm wrong on the number, maybe I'm not.
I mean, I would do it over a debit card just from the liability standpoint. So I motion to approve with $1,000 limit and plus $50.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Do you remember what our Microsoft bill is?
Well, I'm just wondering, when our Microsoft bill comes due, it's probably gonna be a couple, what do you guess, $300-400?
More than that, I think.
Well, it's like $16 a month, times 5, get your calculator,
That's 80,
times 12.
that's 960.
So we could possibly, he's right, 1,000 may not cover it.
So is that a one-time hit or
You can add money to it throughout the year, can't you?
whatever the number is?
I don't know if,
We would pay the bill, and then.
I mean, I suppose if we had a big charge, we could just send them a check right away to cover it and replenish the account. Sure, we could do that. That's up to you. But no, they're $1,000. I mean, if they buy some office supplies that month and don't let us know, and the Microsoft bill shows up,
So it's the Microsoft bill, they don't take a check.
Microsoft does not take checks.
That's what this is about.
I mean,
Yep.
I pay for it too, and it's,
Yeah.
it just,
Okay.
They
Won't
just
they do the direct payment, ACH?
From what Rhonda told me when she was working with them, they take credit cards and credit cards only. And I know when I had my Microsoft account, I mean, that was the only thing they gave us an option for is, put in your credit card number here. I didn't see any other way of paying and stuff like that, so.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
It also has to do with buying office supplies. I mean, we need paper, I've been paying for it myself and then getting reimbursed,
Thank you.
and that's not gonna work forever. So just
Yeah.
having something where we can buy office supplies or pens, papers, whatever we need, it's.
Like we have a Staples account, but our Staples account is tied to a credit card.
Yeah,
And plus they could use Amazon to get some of this stuff, but again, we need a credit card. Although Amazon, no, I'll take that back. Amazon actually said they would give us an open account and bill us. So Amazon will, but that doesn't get us everything we need. So,
Okay.
well, let's go back to your motion was, what do you want to approve it for? Do you want to bump a little bit maybe?
well, I guess, I don't know, $2,000, everyone content? 1,500, I don't care.
Norm, what are your
I would
thoughts?
start at 2.
I have a couple of thoughts.
Okay.
You're looking at just the big banks. Why weren't some of the other smaller ones local to contact? My first thought.
I did,
Pardon?
did.
Did, so you contacted like Newmarket and Vermillion and stuff?
Didn't call them all, but I called like Castle Rock Bank, and the problem with them is the small banks don't have their own credit cards. They sub it out to another credit card company, and they have debit cards.
Yep.
And,
Exposed to your bank.
and so yes, I ran into it, and that's what they told me up at Castle Rock Bank. They said the only people that might consider this are the people that do their own credit cards. Chase, I even called Chase, and they said no to.
Yep.
So that's why then trust me, I've made a lot of phone calls on this. So if somebody wants to come up with a better option, I'm perfectly happy.
That's my motion.
Okay, so you're gonna go to, well, 2050.
2050.
Okay, so I have a motion to get a Bank of America credit card with a $2,050 credit limit and $50 to be held in an account, which that will probably get month interest on, what you do.
I'll second that, Jordan seconds.
Jordan seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, is Pete here from the Nike base? I didn't see him in the audience. No, that makes our life, on board. Approve ordinance manual meeting dates. We wanted to get going on this ordinance manual, so I thought we should all look at our calendar and find out what dates were available.
Calendar's pretty full.
If we can keep him home for more than a week at a time.
thank you, Drew.
So what do we have in February scheduled now?
17th, we have the budget meeting.
Okay, 17th is the budget.
Employee review before that, so.
Okay.
Oh, employee review. So the 17th is probably wiped out.
Yep, 17th is budget review night,
Employee review, budget, yep.
or
Yeah.
reverse the order.
Yeah.
Review first.
We'll start with you, because when are you gonna be around? You're the most difficult.
I mean, you guys might just have to,
Wayne without you?
yeah, I'm out a lot. I mean, I'm in the week of the 2nd.
It's probably gonna be the next.
Probably. And some of this stuff,
Unfortunately.
will just have to go that way, so you guys schedule whatever you need.
Okay, Norm, how's your schedule looking? You probably want to get this done sooner than later, right? So in case the fields open up?
Not yet.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be in
I
April.
don't know what
About the
you're saying.
18th.
18th of,
March 18th?
That's
You want to do it
You
two
talking
nights in a row?
February, or what are we talking?
February 18th. I'm throwing out dates.
Oh, February 18th.
February 25th.
what day of the week is that?
That's a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday.
I think we try and schedule 2 nights. What are you guys thinking?
2 nights to finish it?
To try and finish
It's
it.
gonna take us.
Is it?
We got through 54 first.
Yeah, but there's some of it where there's a lot of pages, everything's just crossed off.
Well, let's
I
sit
mean,
to the
I
side.
would schedule 2 dates and then can the last one if you need.
I think we could get done in one because a lot of the stuff, like I say, is thrown out. And the other thing is, we get to the mining and stuff and that, there's lots of pages and we didn't do any changes.
No, I agree with you, but I also agree that let's schedule 2
Yeah,
dates.
I mean, I think,
Ixnay the second one if we don't need it. So let's pick some dates.
So then let's do the 18th and the 25th, if Jordan's for them 2 hours.
February 18th?
No?
No, the 18th will be, just so you guys know, it's 2 nights in a row.
No, 18th, oh, because we're here on the 17th for the
Yeah.
budget meeting. But it's 2 different things, I can deal with that. If we had to come back 2 nights in a row and do ordinance, that might be a little stretching.
We have 3 different things.
Yeah.
Employee review. budget.
Peter, you okay with the 18th?
Yep, everybody's okay. I'm just making sure
I'm
that
excited for it.
Well, 2 nights in a
I'm
row.
busy every Wednesday through March,
Okay.
Every Wednesday night through March.
so,
Well, and while we're
You
thinking,
are?
yep,
Is the 18th a Wednesday?
yes.
Yeah, they're both.
I don't wanna throw a wrench in it, but while we're thinking of this, we don't have the solar ordinance in front of us tonight either. What are we gonna do with that?
Andrew sent me an email at when I was walking out the door. He's reviewed the ordinance, or the solar ordinance manual. He said he sees no problems in it, so we can approve that and be done with it.
When?
Did he get we don't have the resolution on it yet, right?
So is that the March meeting? Or are you gonna schedule a special meeting, or how are we gonna handle that? Just as we're going over dates.
Could we throw that in one of these?
Yeah, can we throw
So,
in
a few minutes before.
15?
We gotta post this.
Right, that's what I'm just asking,
Okay.
for trying to figure out all the dates and
I
all.
on that. So if we post it,
I'm just gonna throw this out to you guys. Please don't yell at us. I'm just telling you what the attorney told us. You were on the phone call with Andrew called us today. And Andrew told us, he said, why don't you guys just do the solar and put it all together and approve it at one time? You'll save yourself a bunch of headache and money.
I'll tell you why. We're worried about them applying for them batteries right now.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We have to get it through.
We have to get it.
But here's the other problem. We could double up on the 17th or 18th, doesn't matter. We can't approve it till our March meeting.
Right.
So you can't approve it unless you're in one of these meetings.
Why can't we approve it tonight then?
We don't have it in front of us.
Right.
Okay. I mean, Andrew said, we don't need to.
We just have to make sure that all the changes
But-
made it through.
But we need to go over and make sure all the setback, every change we made, we need to physically see before we approve it. At least I do.
I agree. I mean, there's been.
Okaying it without seeing it is gonna be like that joint powers agreement.
Yeah, I
You know, that's no.
Well, that's fine. Okay.
No.
So then we'll just have to move it up till March.
We can
And he
do
should
that
have-
special meeting.
Okay, here's the other thing. Why can't we just have a special meeting and do it? I have no problem showing up. I mean, especially if that's all we're gonna do, it's gonna take us, what, half hour to kind of just reread it and make sure it's right? We just schedule a special meeting?
Scheduled before one of our ordinance manual meetings.
Yeah. If we're gonna be here on the 18th, why can't we do it on the 18th at 5:30 and then have our...
If we don't have time, it's gonna have to be put in paper.
You gotta get in the paper.
Yeah, if we don't have time on the 18th, not close.
And make sure we get it so we can review it a few days before the meeting.
Is this a public hearing or are we just calling this a regular meeting?
There was always already a public, this is a resolution, right, we're talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you,
It's a regular, that'd just be a regular.
Special regular
That'd be a 5-day, right? Notice?
Well, it's not a public hearing, or,
it's not a public hearing, it's just a.
Public hearing is 10.
I don't know what a special meeting is. Is that 5 days? I
5
don't,
days.
I don't know the correct dates.
Yeah, everything is 5 days before the public hearings are
You
10.
could be right, yeah, I don't know them days.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got time right now if she gets it posted tomorrow, because we don't have to put it in the paper. All we gotta do is post it in the front window. Special meetings, don't go in the paper.
Really? I didn't know.
No, public hearings, go in the paper. That's it.
Okay.
Gotta go to training, my friend.
Yeah, I didn't know, I figured they all, special meetings would end up in the
So a
paper.
special meeting to conduct business outside the regular meeting. It must include date, time, place on the principal bulletin board of public body, or if not, on its meeting door. Notice must be posted at least 3 days, not counting first and last days, so really 5 days before the meeting. Notice must also be delivered to anyone who has requested a notice of special meetings. It may publish notice at least 3 days before the meeting in the official newspaper.
but not required.
Yeah, it says May, yeah.
Yep, I went through that with Stephen and he kind of tuned me in on that.
So five day,
So, yeah, so we could do it on the 18th, half hour, or, well, what if we did it on the 18th, like at 6, and then see how long that meeting goes, and then do the rest of the ordinance manual afterwards, the rest of the public hearing. Oh, that's right, she's telling us, the 18th out, I'm
When
sorry.
I got hired, I didn't realize Wednesdays were a thing, and I have commitments every Wednesday.
Well,
No, that's okay. I use all summer long. I'm committed on Wednesdays
What day
too,
is
so
the
don't feel
25th?
that.
What's the 19th?
25th is Wednesday.
19th is
the 24th.
February and
19th,
March are the same dates.
okay, how about the 19th?
The 19th is a
Like
Thursday.
the 19th is on a Wednesday, and the 19th is on a Wednesday, like the entire calendar matches, so I can tell you that Wednesdays.
is the 24th a planning meeting night?
19th is
Oh, no, that's
Thursday.
there.
So can we do the 19th, that's a Thursday?
Mhm.
Pete, how about you?
Yep.
I can.
Norm,
I think I can,
19th?
Not me, but you guys do your thing.
Okay, so February 19th.
What time?
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You want to do it at 5 o'clock? You want to do the, approve the,
5 o'clock's good with me.
yeah. Yeah, let's start earlier.
okay, so at 5 PM, we'll approve the, solar. Okay, so February 19th, 5 PM, we're gonna approve the solar. February 19th at 6 PM, then we will, are we doing, is that public hearing again?
That would be public hearing.
What?
Yeah, and you'd have to put the notice in the paper for that.
We gonna make it?
And we're not gonna make it.
You gotta do it for this. Yeah.
That's 10 days.
You're right. You're
So
right.
we won't make that.
No,
So Nikki, can you find out how soon you can get it in the paper, and then knowing Wednesdays are out, maybe you can email us some dates and do that tomorrow if you can, so that we can get this on the calendar.
This is for this regular ordinance manual.
This will be another public hearing for the ordinance manual, so that's gonna have to go in the paper, so you're gonna have to call them and find out what's the first day I can get in the paper. And then we gotta wait 10 days, once it's in the paper. And then that date forward, you can send an email out to all the board members and say, okay, this date forward, pick a date, folks, and we'll just have to do it through email, where, you know.
The 19th still works for me for approving the solar
I
ordinance.
agree, let's get.
Yep, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's come in and
It
do
might
that.
only be a half an hour meeting, but we get it done, get it moving.
We get it done. Okay, all right.
And then you should find out from Andrew how many days you have to post it before it's active.
The,
Solar ordinance. So once we approve it,
I found it.
did you? You
Yep.
gotta post, don't we gotta post it at all our areas?
You put the summary in the newspaper.
Okay,
The minute the summary goes in the newspaper, it's official.
okay.
That's your official
That
start
day?
date. Yep.
Okay.
The day that it makes it to the newspaper. So,
When do we have to submit it to the newspaper by then?
that's what she's gotta find out tomorrow, because our newspaper is the goofiest newspaper in the world. Okay. So, our ordinance manual meeting dates, I guess we've done as much as we can with them, right?
So we're on the 19th, all right.
So all we've done is approve for the
No,
19th
because
for
we
the
can't figure
solar.
out.
5 o'clock on the 19th.
Right, so
Yep.
we have not done anything for,
The only thing we've done is February 19th, 5 PM, we will come in and approve the solar.
Okay.
That's all we're gonna be able to do until you get us dates for how fast you can get stuff published. Okay, we're moving on to attorney update. You know what? I'm gonna move Schweitzer's CUP ahead of this, because this guy's been sitting here for so long, I think he's a permanent resident at our town hall. So he got through, you know, there were some mistakes made on our end. It's not a big deal. Life goes on. We need to move forward. They were talking about him having to come back to get in a regular planning commission meeting to get them to make the final recommendation. My thoughts on this is, I'm not disrespecting the planning commission, but I don't know that we actually need a planning commission recommendation to approve something. I don't know that we're required to get a planning commission approval, or a recommendation, I'm sorry. So how does the rest of the board feel about that, to get this guy so he can be, you know, done with
So
us?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's the email that he should start over on an IUP or CUP?
Okay, so when I talked to the attorney about the IUP, he says you don't amend IUPs.
Right.
He said you're basically starting from square one and you issue him a new IUP.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we're doing. Like he said, you can build on the old one, but he said, you're not real, there is no policy or procedure to amend. You just issue a brand new one. So I think he's gone through everything with the planning commission.
I
And
think we did, didn't we add something to the IUP? Didn't we change it?
Well, I don't know what the original IUP is, I just know that he's trying to.
We need to see
We
this
added some
original.
wording to it at our.
yeah, all we were doing is basically what the planning commission was, is just taking the current IUP and adding on to it. So
Adding some
therefore, I guess
wording onto it.
we could vote on it to say, the current IUP will stay in effect with the following additions to it.
What is the current, I don't even know what the current one says.
So
I don't think any of us, we
I would
haven't
make a
seen it.
recommendation that the planning commission said they were gonna make a recommendation at their next meeting. We follow the procedure and do it like we should.
That's fine. I mean, it's whatever you guys want to do.
That's where
I was just trying to help him move along this project.
Right, and I agree with that, but we don't even know what the original one is. We have nothing to go on. Nothing from the planning commission, no original CUP, no, we don't have any.
Right. I mean, did you guys ever see the original CUP?
It's an IUP,
Or, I'm sorry, IUP.
IUP, yeah.
It's an IUP and the only record is the minutes. That doesn't
It's in the minutes. We don't have a form. There's never been a form for a CUP or an IUP. It's just a handwritten paragraph of what is needed in an interim use or a conditional use, which is put with the application in his case because he's building on.
So if it's only a one page, I mean, how hard would it be for us to find it and read it? I mean, if it's, you're thinking it's a paragraph?
It's a paragraph. Yeah.
Did you say you already found it?
I don't have it with me, no, but Jim had found it, and I think, didn't you have it at our last meeting? No, we didn't have it at the last meeting. We got just a paper. Let's see.
I don't remember what it all says.
I'm just wondering if there's a copy in the office that we could.
There's a copy in the office someplace, but this was our last planning commission packet because Nikki unfortunately did not know that we needed the
That happens.
draft meeting minutes, so
Yep. Well,
we had no business last, except
Here, all right, these minutes that we got sent to us. There's a whole bunch of stuff, so.
Is there, can I ask? They actually, I had some neighbors that showed up at the 6 o'clock meeting that were going to just say good things, so good luck.
So what this says, it's meeting room production addition, kitchen production, part of the events, IUP for 5 years will expire in 2027. Once get footings in, it's enough to the state for proper permitting, 120 parking spaces will be cutting into that, making approximately 103 to 107 parking spaces. Kitchen for caterers and meeting room for brides and grooms, average 140 to 160 people. Motion to approve IUP to include commercial kitchen meeting room, made by Drew Roach, Sandy Weber second. Motion to hold public hearing for revision of IUP, first and second. Motion 1 and 2 were rescinded. Motion to approve building permit for meeting room and storage without kitchen until public hearing, first and second and passed. So,
Does that pretty much cover everything? Give me a second.
I mean, I'm
Does
guessing,
that pretty much cover everything that you're doing down there?
I'm guessing there's hours.
There's gotta be all these
the hours and stuff,
Yeah, more
yeah.
stuff, not
The
stuff.
hours and stuff like that, days
Yeah,
of
that's
operation,
done
that's all in the
too.
IUP,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
And that's, you've seen that?
Yeah, we have seen that, yes, the same hours, and he's not changing the hours or any of that. This is what he put in there, just like the building that he can build, the operation, and he's having meetings there in the conference room, et cetera, basically.
So what happened at the,
Here's the meeting.
I don't have a copy of the IUP.
what happened at the 5:30 today? Was,
We recommended going forward, but he has to come back
That's
because
the original.
unfortunately
That's
he
right
did
there.
not know.
Oh.
Jim closed the meeting.
You
So
said,
he didn't, our regular meeting, instead of tabling that also until this next month.
oh, was closed instead of continued?
Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of continuing.
So they couldn't
So
make a
that's why
decision.
he has to come back. If we
So
want to be legal and we've got to do
Yeah,
that.
that stinks.
So like I say, I got a motion on the table that we follow up after next planning commission meeting and move this along. Let's do it, right?
Okay, I mean, there was a motion on,
So then we gotta mail out new letters.
No.
Well, the letters were mailed
They
out.
had a public hearing.
So does the public speak?
There was no one here. Apparently, he said someone was here, but I think they came at 6 o'clock instead of 5:30. Is that what I'm getting? Yeah.
But if they all have good things to say, then that's really.
So
There's
are
been no
Right?
complaints regarding the.
But, so they couldn't make a decision, because you can't make a decision at a public hearing. You gotta make the decision at a regular meeting.
I hear you.
I missed that point.
Yeah, I know. And we don't have
It's great deal.
nothing in front of us. Couldn't get prepared, couldn't do anything.
So hours of operation, inclusive music are 10 a.m. to midnight. All guests gone by 2 a.m. Caterers, freight carry licensing, insurance. All events are abide by Township and County permitting requirements.
Well, he's got some minutes there, and he can work off of that.
I agree with that, but where I'm stuck, I hate to make a decision where the planning commission hasn't.
No, and I agree with you, Pete, but in this case, we've made so many mistakes ourselves, and that's
It
where.
sets a precedence.
So that would be another mistake if you guys are doing that. But I will say too, I know Mr. Schweitzer said he's having the public health department come down and he's following all the rules for that, so he's doing everything right as he possibly
Because
can.
the other thing I question on this whole deal is too, he originally came back in like October and started this. When's the 60-day, I mean, and we don't know that, but when
There's
is
no
the?
application for a CUP.
And he didn't have an application until, what now, this last month?
And this is the first we've seen.
No, but
this firm.
this is also gonna be an issue, because at the planning commission meeting that I did attend, which is, somebody said, well, we should have a kitchen. We should put that in our IUP. And I'm like, okay, and they said, we'll do a public hearing, we'll do this, and it was set. Nobody from the township said, you need to fill out this application, you need to do this, you need to do any of these things. They just said, we need to amend the piece. So I'm getting penalized because of when I came into this at the end of October, November, process up here isn't known. When it was, I was at the last meeting, they're like, well, they didn't even file the application. I'm like, nobody had an application. They didn't even know where it was. There isn't an application for an IUP. There was only one for a public hearing, and nobody found that till the end. So again,
Well, I can say, I was at the last planning commission meeting, first time I've heard of this. We did not know, and we still have no paper till tonight.
Well, I mean, we
Till
approved,
just
we
now.
approved the building, you know.
Well, I mean, we didn't know about the project.
The building is all we knew.
You knew that there was a kitchen, you knew that there was gonna be.
I agree with you 100% on setting precedent and stuff like that. The only reason why I'm thinking that sometimes, you know, you got throw caution to the wind is we've made, you know, several mistakes here. And we should have gave him that IUP permit on the day when he came in, and we apparently didn't give him one. You know,
There is no IUP
there is-
permit.
that's
Yeah,
the point.
there's,
Well, no, there's no application.
the one that
It's
he.
the application.
Picked it up.
Oh, I thought that was it.
This is from,
Right, but that's the one where you check at the top, and
this is
IUP,
2000,
that is
this is 2012.
12. But that's
Original.
I think that would be the starting.
Here's the minutes from that meeting. And that's all there is there isn't a form, there isn't any of that.
Because all we've done is we just use the public, I think we use that application where you apply for the public hearing to get an IUP. I'm assuming that's our application start date. That would be my guess. But he's never filled one of those out, but.
For which I did. But this-
Originally,
Originally I did.
yeah, originally.
Oh,
But you never did a fill out a second one because you were never given one to fill out, correct?
Right, that was never even
And
brought
that's,
up. They just said, let's do a public hearing.
again,
Would that have been back in October, then you should have had an
October,
application?
December.
Well, that would have been when Molly was here. Was she here in October?
yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Where's
again,
Molly, our old clerk.
it's hard to say, I mean, but then the other thing, again, Sandy, I'm not throwing a stone at anybody.
No, I
What I'm
know.
saying is, the planning commission should have never even scheduled a public hearing until they had that in front of them with the check and the money. That's,
He brought in the check the next morning. That's why we scheduled the public hearing. He did bring in the
I
check
thought
the
you
next
hadn't
morning.
paid anything.
What's that?
I thought you didn't pay anything yet.
No, I got 1,000 into this.
Oh, you've already left a check
Yes,
with
paid,
us. I'm
yes,
sorry.
paid.
When you were at the last meeting, I thought you had said, no, you hadn't paid anybody yet.
But he was
I'm sorry.
coming in the very next morning to pay.
Okay.
I remember
No,
that.
I,
So then again, if he came in the next morning to pay, does the clock start on the day that, you know, if we forget to ask him to fill out this application, but he drops off the check that we asked for, then that's a little bit on us that we never asked to get this permit filled out, whether it's Molly's fault, my fault, your fault, doesn't
It's
matter.
not mine.
No, you know what I'm saying, that's, I'm just saying, can we
So
try and
that's
help the guy
okay.
out?
Well, I agree, but
that's it.
I don't want to start making decisions with the planning commission ain't done with something.
Okay.
The
I mean,
date on
that's
that
where
was
I'm at.
January
All right,
27th.
well, Norm's got a motion then to send him back to the planning commission next month, or at their next meeting, which would be,
It's early, it's what, it's only another week, 10 days.
yeah.
It's the day before the election is March 10th. Are you having your meeting March 9th then?
Correct, yeah. So we're early in May or the February.
So I'm only,
Their meeting's what day, the 23rd?
Where are we, February? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Fourth Monday? Yeah.
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 so then it'd be another 2 weeks until we meet in March.
Yep. So if it goes back to the planning commission, they're gonna rewrite a whole new CUP.
IUP.
IUP.
That's
So
what
they're
they
actually
asked.
gonna write an IRP, they're just gonna put it in the minutes.
They should be writing on a piece of paper though.
It
The
is,
IUP.
it is. And tonight we did, at our meeting, at a public hearing, we did say what we wanted added to the IUP, okay?
Right.
So that will be at our next planning commission meeting.
So when we get our packet, we should have a sheet of paper with all the new conditions.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, I agree with you. I'm just trying to find a way to help this guy. You know. Okay, well, Norm's got a motion. I haven't heard a second yet.
Jordan seconds.
Okay, Jordan seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Unfortunately,
So the challenge is, I have a vacation that I start on Friday, and I'll be in Montana at this meeting. So do I come back for this meeting? Do I cancel my vacation?
No, you
I
said at the
wouldn't do
planning
that.
commission you could have a representative.
And that was Eric, and then he's like, that's the night of his son's jazz band concert at school in Farmington, so I don't know who I can get.
Do any remote in?
can you zoom in, or I'm just asking? Not really? No, that's fine. Just asking.
Um,
You know.
can we get by without a representative here?
Okay, could you phone call that?
That's gonna be, I mean, you'll have to ask the planning, I mean, it's
Yeah, I
planning
know.
commission.
I was gonna say that, but that's planning commission's deal.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, okay, so even if the planning commission denied it because he's not here, he comes back to this meeting, we have the right to
Yeah.
rectify anything.
Yeah, we could approve it at our meeting anyways.
Yeah.
Sandy,
I will say it was pretty much recommended that this is a pretty much done deal,
Yeah.
and he really did not need to be at the planning commission, because we are all looking forward to recommending what was added to the IUP.
And even if, like what Pete was getting at, or BJ, if there was some little tweak in there that the planning commission didn't approve it, you can always come back and, because they don't approve, they just recommend. And you could tweak something and then come back to us, and then we could approve it in our meeting and be done with it.
And I'm just,
Frustrated.
yeah, with the potential to move forward with business and others, contractors and everything, and push back another month, which gets into our wedding season, which is harder to have contractors working in the middle of people's weddings, so it's challenging,
Here,
financially challenging.
can I throw just something else out, idea? So if there are subsequent meetings that end up getting scheduled, can we piggyback onto one of these special meetings? And after the planning meeting, but before our regular meeting?
How about this? What if at the planning commission meeting, that they do the final approval, and that, we only need 3 board members to show up, and then if we get 3 board members, could they stop their meeting? Could we hold a meeting in the middle of it? I mean, I don't know, that's what I'm asking. And then we
And I think just go with it as it is. I'm going to submit the plans that I have to the state, assuming that it goes well, even though we're another month into it, assuming that it goes well, because it's gonna take some time up there. It'll come back.
Okay.
And
You mean like your kitchen design stuff with MDH? Yeah.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
That could take a couple, 60 days.
I was gonna say, you have your permits for your building and that, you can do that stuff in that. I mean, I don't see where this really should hold them up.
I don't either.
Well, you know,
we're
I mean, this is use instead of physical, like,
exactly.
yeah.
Right, but it doesn't make sense to remodel and put a kitchen in if I can't have a kitchen.
You will get it. I think everybody
And I
agrees
don't-
with that.
I don't think the state would make a decision fast enough where you'd start remodeling before our March meeting, or April. Knowing how the state works.
State review is really slow.
Yeah, I would guess minimum 60 days.
But I don't see where this decision will hold them back, since he does have, you do have your permits to do the building and stuff and that.
And it hasn't gone to has the inspector looked at the plans?
There's the last piece of engineering for one part, but there's two kitchens. So there's one that's a beverage kitchen, and then there's one that's a little different. So an ice maker,
Yep.
dish sink, dump sink, stuff like that.
So I don't think we'll be holding up. And when do you think the start date was? Do we need an extension?
January, didn't you bring the check in on
We don't know,
January
because
27th?
never.
At the last meeting, well, maybe it was.
The last meeting was January 26th. You said you were gonna bring the check in the next morning, which would have been the 27th.
Which
Yes.
I did, because that's.
Yep, we're okay. We have 60 days.
Okay, all right. All right, sir, I'm sorry about that, we tried. All right,
Well, it's, yeah.
we've got the sheriff here. Go ahead, sir, tell us all the good news in Castle Rock Township.
Just got a few items to share with you. This, according to our Minnesota crash report data, shows our highest crash numbers occur in the months of August and February. Some of our hotspots for crashes are Highway 52 and 240th Street, Highway 3 and 280th, County Road 46 in Clayton, Highway 3 and 46, and Highway 316 and 200th Street areas. The 2026 Citizens Academy for the Sheriff's Office is opening soon. There will be an announcement on our social media page on how to participate or sign up. Our speed trailers are currently parked in storage throughout the winter season. Any comments or concerns? Awesome.
No.
All right.
All right, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
I saw about 60 deer on the way.
Yeah. Go by my house.
Okay, attorney update.
Andrew.
Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff from Andrew. Some of the things, so Vandler asked me to give you this email. I cannot because there is some confidential parts as part of this, but there's a lot of it there that I can read back to you that people have asked about. At our last meeting, there was a request to add the cause or contribute to the depreciation of real estate values caused by a state of disrepair or an unattractive appearance. Here's Andrew's answer. Regarding this one, I wouldn't recommend that we add this to the ordinance because I do not believe it would be very enforceable and it would place a burden on the township to enforce beauty standards and real estate values within the township. It wouldn't be enforceable because it's too vague. Generally speaking, vagueness in an ordinance renders the portion of this ordinance unenforceable, and the ordinance is construed strictly against the town, meaning that courts are inherently critical of vagueness in ordinances. Here, whether a property is attractive or not is entirely a question of taste. Similarly, many things affect real estate values in a variety of unpredictable ways. Any new residence or business is likely to affect real estate values around it slightly, some more than others. This would come up constantly, and every time someone didn't like a particular use or structure, this would also put the town in a position where it is called upon to enforce real estate values every time anything disliked was set up in the town. First, I do not believe we could enforce this even if we wanted to. Second, the possible cost would be very large. So that's his answer to that one. We had talked a little bit about, just amending ordinances and stuff like that, you know, that we can, you know, at a meeting, we can fix little stuff in our ordinance manual as we go along. Andrew does not agree with that. If we make any changes to the ordinance manual, we have to have a public hearing and go through the whole process. Anytime that we make any changes to the ordinance manual. There was gonna be, I'm assuming somebody's here. Okay, we talked about the removal of a planning commission member, and basically he goes on to say, we should have a planning commission ordinance. He said we're actually supposed to have one that specifies how many people are on the planning commission, and they cover a bunch of stuff, and that's what BJ researched out from Eureka. He looked at Eureka's, he's gonna look at that. He also has a boilerplate one that he commonly uses. So he said, you know, you guys should get one of those put together. That's what he recommends to deal with this going forward.
Did he send his boilerplate one?
He did not. Again, we talked to him late this afternoon, so. And this was his first day, if you're wondering, this is his first day back in the office.
Okay.
So he said he's still trying to catch up with stuff like that. So therefore, this would clarify the limits, procedures, powers. In the absence of such an ordinance, a majority vote of the town board is sufficient to remove a member of the planning commission. So that's his answer to that question. Ordinance enforcement, do you guys want me to read that one off? I mean, I certainly can.
Is that like code enforcement stuff?
Yeah, that's where he just basically, he gave some recommendations, but we can go through that going forward. But if we're going to enforce ordinances, how he kind of recommends that we do it. He did say, because I had suggested at one time that, you know, well, maybe everybody would feel better if we had 10 people in violation, we sent them all a violation at the same time to say we're not picking on anybody, and he said, no, you don't want to go down that road, it just becomes really messy. He said, you go out, if you got 10 violations, he said, find the worst two. And then, you know, the board will have to decide which ones you guys think are the worst. He said, and then you enforce those two. And he said, you get resolution on that. He said, usually what happens then is other people in the township will start coming into compliance because they'll know that in a small town, you know, Jerry Larson got jammed up and had to come in compliance, so I guess I better too. So that was his recommendation about the ordinance enforcement. He did recommend though that if we are going to do it, we need to do it, because he said if you threaten and then don't, he said it just blows up in your face, because then everybody, you know, knows that you're not going to do anything.
You're toothless.
Yeah, and then you're just wasting your time. The data center ordinances, again, is, okay, I recommend, here's his answer to whether we should add data centers into the ordinance manual, you know, like denying them. Here's his answer. I recommend prohibiting everything that isn't allowed. If we define what we allow by what we don't allow, we will not be able to foresee all the inconsistent uses. It is better to start from prohibiting everything that isn't allowed and then make accommodations to new compatible uses when they make sense. So he is still in the position that, you know what, if you don't mention ordinance, if it's not listed in there, there's no reason for them to apply, because that's still his legal position.
Did you present it to him the same way that Ben presented it to you guys?
That statement, I sent him that statement, and I was looking through this, and I don't know if he skipped over that one, but let me look. He sent me several emails today.
Now, this is from Michigan, but I just read an article today about a township that has a data center and wants to come in, and because they don't have anything that states that in their ordinance, they're having a hard time fighting it to keep it out.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Not on data centers, but
Yeah,
other issues.
My personal opinion is, I'm okay with it. Like,
I don't know the correct way.
I think we have to put it in there.
Yeah.
Our list is of allowed things is too vague. We have to.
He's gonna work on that.
Did we get all those emails, or are you gonna send them out? Or-
We got
We did get all them? I haven't looked this afternoon.
You got some of them. So let me.
I don't know that one, I didn't get them all, I know that.
Nor they were coming out at like 4 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I didn't look this afternoon.
All right. So, yeah, they're really long emails.
What
Okay.
aspect do you agree with, DJ?
Adding the language to say they're prohibited,
Of
The-
some
like
kind
the
of
bad
language.
language. I don't know, it's one of those things like, yeah, maybe you get snake bit on it down the road, maybe, I don't know. To me, it's simple, it's not, I don't know, I don't disagree with it, like, I'm fine with it.
I mean, I kind of like the attorneys, I do agree with the planner and the attorney's approach, that if it's not, listed at all, there's no reason to apply. Because like he said, here's a question, is that list going to grow? Are we gonna add things to it? Are we gonna say, okay, no data centers, and then if something else shows up, are we gonna say, well, now there's none of them?
So now,
Can you say no data
now we-
centers, no
Exactly the way
solar?
Ben said it that night.
And again, I sent him,
Prohibited
exactly
or
what you
not
said.
limited to, or whatever it was, yeah.
Right, and I sent him that, I didn't see that he hit that in here, so either I'm missing it, because I thought about that before I left, that it's like, I didn't hear him answer.
Because that covers not only data centers, but any other
Right.
projects
I
that are large
again,
scale like that. So
Again,
you should be covered.
well,
That's what it should say.
It should say no.
yes, yeah, I will follow up on that.
It should say that.
It's either possible I missed it, or like I said, he sent, how many emails did he send out today?
There's a handful with a bunch of attachments.
And they were all long, so like I say, but I'll look into that, because I did ask him that in the email that I sent him. Sandy gets it quick?
Yeah, just quickly, and I'm kind of on the page of agreeing with the lawyer and the planner because most of our land is zoned ag, and they would have to come before you, the Board of Supervisors, to have it changed to commercial. And we may not, the only place they probably would be able to put a data center that would be big enough is like that empty property, which is already gonna be in solar, so that's already taken. All the rest of our land is pretty much ag.
Right.
But despite that, I think as a level of added protection
Yeah,
is to have that verbiage. in
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
But also, Michigan has different laws than we have in the state of Minnesota.
I
So,
stated that.
yep.
To me, I
still think.
I'm always one to follow the attorney's advice. That's kind of my,
I'm just saying,
that's
you
kind of
know,
my gut read
I,
on it. But I agree with BJ, if the board wants to go in a different direction, I'm not gonna fight it. I mean, or I'm not gonna get all worried about it. On the emails real quick, just for you board members to know, there's a couple emails that came in that have to do with attorney-client privilege and that. And in the past, those went to Molly, and then Molly just sent them out. I did talk to Nicole about that, being that she's a resident of Farmington, and I'm not making any accusations that she wouldn't, but I don't want her to get on the hot seat that all of a sudden, well, a Farmington resident got a copy of our confidential emails. So if the board is okay with this, Nicole's asked that anything that's attorney-client privilege stuff, she does not want to be included in. So BJ was on the phone call, we asked Andrew about that, and Andrew said that either BJ or me, it doesn't matter because I'm the chair, but either one of us, we were on the phone call, we can send these emails out to you guys individually, and I'm not violating the open meeting law. He said, I can't send a group email out to all of you at one time, but I can send you the emails, I can send him the
It's
emails.
just information.
It's just information, so we're not violating the open meeting law. So is everybody gonna be okay with that?
If our attorney says that it's legal?
Yep.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, because I want you guys to get everything that, I've gotten, and I don't want to hold anything back. So I will be sending out emails tomorrow. If you got some of them already, sorry about that, but, I'm just gonna go down all the emails that Andrew sent today and resend them, but you'll get them individually from me. So that was that. I don't think, was there anything else that we talked about today that?
So will the town hall have a copy of all those emails though?
The only way the town hall would have a copy of those emails would be in his email, in my email, in his email, and his email, which are never deleted.
Okay, because the town hall should have a copy.
Yeah.
Correct. They're in the supervisor emails basket, which never gets deleted, because it was like when Jordan came on, he took over BJ's email, and when BJ came on, he took over Heather's email. So again, I'm assuming you knew that, Norb, you don't ever delete your emails, right?
No, I don't.
Yep.
What if the supervisor did?
What the supervisor did, I believe that Microsoft Exchange, I think that they're kept in there. So then somebody would have, an administrator would have to go into the account.
You know,
and
not saying you would, but if you got one you didn't want people to see, and you just deleted it.
Yeah, so
Oh,
what I
yeah.
do, like what I do, and then, you know, we still get some junk emails coming into us, like from this asset management or whoever the heck they are. I just put them in my junk email folder. I don't delete them, I just put them in there.
So when Andrew sends these out, he should send them to 2 supervisors. Like you and BJ should get them, not just one person, because one person could delete some.
Well, and he
And the board would never know
and he did get all the copies.
it. You know what I mean?
We both have them.
Yeah, and I just said, going forward, you know, I was on the call, so he sent it to me, but, you know.
I mean, just
I've
for,
got a clock on me, and so it should probably be chair and vice or something.
Yeah, so maybe going forward, we can.
well, right,
Right.
you know,
But
because someone could delete some.
Right, but being that Nikki doesn't want to be involved, and
Or
once,
miss one.
and once,
Right.
and once the
Right.
lawsuit is over, I mean, then I don't think it's gonna be a problem. It's just, I can understand her position that she's a Farmington resident, and somebody comes in here and says, well, information got leaked. Oh, it was the clerk.
Right,
You know,
right.
this way she doesn't have to deal with those accusations, because, again, the regular emails dealing with township business will still go through her and out to us. But if it's confidential, dealing with the lawsuit, then we will bypass Nikki, and it will just come to me, and then I will shoot it out to all the board members. Okay? All right. Okay.
Why don't you just schedule 4 or 5 meetings a month, right, if you're ready to begin?
We're on about a 4-month clip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we?
All right. Is there anything else that we went over with Andrew? That's all our list? Okay. All right, so we can move on beyond that then.
That's an alternative list.
So we have the 17th, the 19th, and the 2nd.
And the 9th,
Yeah, the 17th was scheduled last time.
March 9th.
We added the
So it's
19th.
March 19th?
our regular meeting.
Okay.
March 19th is just to approve the soul. Or no, that's February 19th, I'm sorry.
As long as we get all these on the website calendar, it helps a lot.
That I actually have been.
Because I always hit the dots. Yeah,
Yes,
that helps a
I
lot.
have been good about getting them on the calendar.
That
Yes.
helps.
Is it possible that Nikki can send out reminders on these? That would help.
I'm trying to get them straight myself, you guys. Okay, let's repeat, just so I can write them down without 17 other dates being thrown at the same time. What are the official dates that we've
So
decided
we have
on?
the budget meeting at the 17th.
Yep,
What is that, 5 o'clock?
Yep, employee review at 4, before
Okay.
that.
The 19th, we have the solar,
5 p.m.
5. March 2nd, 3 o'clock, lawyer.
Yep.
March 9th, regular meeting.
Yep.
What about March 5th?
What's on March 5th?
We gotta go to Randolph and get fed. or free
Oh.
food.
I thought I missed the meeting there.
I was gonna say, the most important one of all of them, is to get fed at that one. Okay. All right, so therefore, I think we're all done with the attorney stuff. Yeah, all his says is out of town. Okay. All right, so we're done with the Schweitzer CUP, the attorney update, we're done with that. Just want a motion, I don't know if I think we talked about this in the past, Pete, but I guess I would get it on here again. We do want Jaylene to give us quarterly reports on where the budget is. Is that what we've talked about? Do we still want to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to have Jaylene provide us with quarterly budget reports.
Second.
BJ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, the approval for the purchase of a scanner. So this was something I had talked to Molly about. You know, a long time ago, if you guys remember, we approved buying Adobe Acrobat so that we could convert our PDFs into searchables. If that's $200 a year, actually $229 a year is what it's going to cost us for the software. Because you can't buy the software, you have to lease it by the year. That's the way all you computer people do it now, right, Jordan? So therefore, if we buy a scanner, a tabletop scanner,
2.
oh, you want to buy 2
One
scanners?
for each desk,
Okay, so they want to buy one for each desk. They're about, what, $300 a piece?
not even, under 200, under.
Okay.
I looked them up the other day,
Okay.
because.
But if you buy a scanner, and that the scanner comes with software, and that automatically will create the PDF and then do the optical character recognition on there. This way, and I kind of agree with the two, they each have it on their desk so that if they've got time and they're running out of things to do, they could go grab some minutes of meetings and start getting stuff scanned and looking for those special meeting minutes and getting, you know, and then they can start scanning them, and then it's not that hard. I mean, I know Nikki will master just like that, we'll put them on the website so they can actually start doing it themselves. I mean, I don't mind doing it, I'll still help you, but it's not hard in that. So we're looking at roughly $600, let's just say, you know, for 2 scanners with some sales tax and everything like that. How does the board feel on that one?
Nikki, how much do you think it is?
Under 200, in fact, I'll be honest with you, I already bought one for myself, because as soon as you guys approve this, I'm bringing it in tomorrow. The receipt's on my desk, it was under $200.
So we're talking 400 now.
I would say, you know, 420 to be safe after taxes and
Okay,
whatnot. Just-
so I'll make a motion that we do this for something around 4 1/4.
Okay,
I'll
so
second that.
Norm makes a motion to approve 4 1/4, Jordan seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Your tax exempt, Nikki.
What's that?
Township's tax exempt, aren't they?
But I'm the one paying for it. That's the problem, without having a credit card and that, you know,
Well,
so.
maybe you won't have one of them.
Okay, are we ready to move on to new business?
Tax,
Okay, the election judges,
tax form.
Okay.
I think we just have to approve them, right?
We'll talk about
Okay,
that.
do I have a motion to approve the
Yeah.
election judges as listed?
So moved.
Pete makes a motion to approve the election judges. A second?
BJ?
BJ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
I'm sorry, who made motion, who second?
I made it.
Pete, CJ.
Okay.
Okay, the solid waste abatement grant. See the email from January 16th. I'll be honest with you, I didn't go back and look at that email.
I remember. It pretty much says, it don't apply to anything we're doing. Is that the one?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just like most of them.
Yeah.
Right.
You heard that one that BJ spent all that time on?
I
got
think-
shot down and everything.
That might be the one, was that the one that was sent out to us? Where they listed all these
That was
things?
the CDA block grant that had,
Okay, that's the one I was just talking
They
about.
rejected all of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lady was really nice and called us, and she said, next year when you guys do this, call me beforehand and I'll tell you the things that, you know, you'll qualify for.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. So anyways, do we need anything on that? I mean, everybody saw that. We don't need a motion on that or anything, because I don't think we're gonna do anything with it.
I don't think so.
I mean, I read it and I remember reading it, that, yeah, we weren't gonna qualify. The next one is approved March MAT training. I plan on going to that also. I don't know if anybody else will, so instead of approving the MAT training for just Jaylene and Nicole, should we approve the MAT training expenses for board members and, or any officers for March, going in March? We always done in the past, right? Do I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Jordan makes a motion to approve the March MAT training for township officers. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Pete seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, Nancy, you're up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, before you start, could I get some clarification? I was reading her emails that she was on the agenda, she was off the agenda and back on.
I never took her off. I put her on and never took her off, but
Oh, I thought there was an email saying you sent it out to the board and there was a response, she's not gonna be on.
there was an advisement not to put her on, but I never took her off after putting her on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering.
Okay, I did want to start with that. That is, I have 2 procedural questions I have.
Okay,
I did send her that, and she did send me back, I was on the agenda. And then a few hours later, she sent me an email and she said, I sent your request to our board as I do with agenda items, and I have been advised to respond as follows. Here's the paragraph. You are requesting legal advice on the procedures concerning planning commission members and their appointment. The best person to properly answer all your questions would be the township attorney. If you can give the clerk the specific information you are looking for, she can forward your request to him and he can put together that information. You will need to reimburse the township for the actual cost the township incurs. I would estimate this to be 1 hour of time and the cost to print the copy of his reply. So I want to ask who up there Who'd that come from?
Came from me.
And under what authority?
If anybody calls and requests information, and then we charge for the gathering of the information.
I didn't ask for information, I want to be on the agenda.
Nikki, didn't she ask for information? She wanted to know what the policies were?
I sent the exact emails over so there would not be any miscommunication.
Yep. So I mean,
I'll read my email to you. I said,
if you
can you please add this to the agenda for February 10th, BOS? And then I put discussion and possible action regarding the Board of Supervisors' prior vote to dismiss a planning commission member, including identification of the specific rule, policy, or standard the member was alleged to have violated, whether the member was given notice and an opportunity to be heard, and whether the board should reconsider and revote on the dismissal. I would like to speak briefly during this agenda item as well. I'm not sure if I have to say that. Thank you.
okay, and you're getting your opportunity. You haven't been denied your opportunity, have you?
Jerry, that seemed like you were trying to not let me be on the agenda.
My understanding was you were looking for documents like what our policies were, what the laws were. I don't know any of those. I don't know if we have any policies in the back room.
No, I wanted to be on the agenda. So
Okay,
that,
well, then I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. And that's my bad then. I misunderstood. I thought you were looking for information.
nope, I was asking to be on the agenda.
Okay.
So is that the proper policy? I'm just asking you guys, is that the proper policy for being on the agenda?
But you were never taken off the agenda. I thought you were looking for information. And if we have to go dig for information, is it not our policy that we charge people to look for information?
My understanding is if someone wants to be on the agenda and explain why they're on the agenda.
And she was. She never got taken off.
Yeah. Well, I read the emails. It sure looked like she did.
I was just, all I said was if she needed information, she'd have to reimburse us for the information.
I understood it though, she wanted information from us, not legal.
Right.
That's how I read it.
Okay, so do you have the ability to answer those questions? What is our policies? Have you got a copy of them?
She just wanted our opinions.
I get to be on the agenda. I'm a
Okay.
resident.
So, and you are. So if,
Okay, that was very deceptive, Jerry.
okay.
You doing it, that was
My
deceptive.
apology. I thought you were looking for information.
Yeah, and I don't
Okay?
want that to happen again, thank you. Okay, my second procedural thing I have to ask before we get into it. So December 9th, at that meeting, Supervisors Elvested and Harper, I'm gonna ask you this specifically. You both voted to remove Ms. Doffing before the chair had even explained the incident. Before any rule was cited, Ms. Doffing had not been asked for her account, and before the public heard any facts. Yet both of you were prepared to vote immediately, and you did. As an audience member, it appeared you already knew how the event unfolded because you voted before it was even discussed publicly. Can you explain how you both knew enough about the event to vote for removal before hearing the facts during the meeting?
Were you at the meeting before, the previous meeting, where she stood up there and lied multiple times?
Lied?
Yeah, Drea stood there and lied. She said she didn't call the cops. I didn't know what happened.
Okay, I was at this same meeting. That was the same meeting, Jordan.
That wasn't the
Yeah.
meeting that we removed her. That was the meeting before that she stood up there and lied. Okay, so
that
we
even
have,
fair?
I wasn't here.
That's not a lie.
so, all right, well,
Okay.
She didn't call the cops.
she lied about a lot of things when she stood up.
Okay, tell me what she
Or
lied about.
So it seemed to me,
Okay.
okay, I did not have trust for her after that.
Okay, how do you
So
know
we
that she
have-
lied,
We have a
Jordan?
relationship with the planning commission, a trust relationship. We take the recommendations, right? So if she lies to us,
What did she lie about? Give me one lie she made.
right, like, I
Give
feel
me
like
one
I
lie.
can't trust her.
Give me one lie, Jordan.
She said that I was
Just-
saying, I was talking down women and saying that women should not be on the board.
Do we
I
have?
have never, ever said anything like that.
Okay,
That's opinion,
that's an opinion. That is not a lie. That's an opinion. Maybe you are like that. We don't know that. That is an opinion. Give me another lie, Jordan.
All right, well, we made the decision. And
Okay,
look,
well-
that's why I can't speak for them. That's why I voted, because I didn't feel like I could trust the
You did, okay,
recommendation.
so, Okay, so now on to the event. On December 9th, the board voted to remove Planning Commissioner Drea Doffing. No cause stated, no public notice on the agenda, no notice to Ms. Doffing that her
There was a
position was at
statement
risk, no explanation before the vote, no opportunity for her to respond or defend herself. The situation appears tied to her speaking with law enforcement after negative interaction with the chair, Jerry Larson. No other board member was at the town hall during this interaction. Now, tonight, I'm going to say if somebody up there feels they moved too fast that night, you can go back and change your decision. I know that I can do that when I get mad, and I can calm down and change my mind. I'm just giving you that opportunity, but it's okay to admit that. But if you guys are three solid on letting her go, after discussion, I ask that a supervisor make a motion tonight to reinstate Drea Doffing to the Planning Commission, and that further removals follow a clear, fair process, a cause stated with rule cited, a notice given, and an opportunity to respond. Earlier tonight, you admitted that there are no ordinances or rules to remove somebody. So to be fair, if you believe commissioners are owed basic respect and basic due process for their public service, there should be a process this board follows. So what specific action justified removal?
Lying.
I'll go.
Give me a line.
I'll go.
Give me a line.
Let me just go check the board minutes, okay? I'll see what the minutes say,
And
and see
you-
if I can find some of the lies, because
Do
there were
you think
multiple.
Jerry lies once in a while when you're sitting up there?
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Nicole, hold on, one second, Nicole.
And did you ask her?
Did Drea
You
ask
asked
me to
for
leave
my
the town
opinion.
hall?
I felt like I couldn't trust her anymore. I couldn't
Okay.
trust the
Hold
recommendation
on.
anymore.
Hold on
That
one
was
second.
the truth.
Okay, just, hold on one second, okay. So, the question is, did Drea ask me to leave the town hall that day?
Yes,
Okay, so you witnessed that?
yes.
Okay. She states
Should
in
you
here.
have left, Jerry? Should you have left?
Hey,
Is there a
excuse me.
reason? Is there a
Excuse
reason
me.
she had to say it?
Excuse me, I've got the floor right now. So
Okay.
just give me a second to finish here. It says in here, I didn't ask him to leave. That's funny because she states in here, in her words, she did not ask me to leave, but yet an independent witness has said it.
Jerry, she is a brand new employee. You and her were there. These two were not there. I wasn't there.
So are you
What
calling
does-
our clerk a liar now?
She should not even be asked. You guys are asking a brand new
So
employee.
you
She
don't
should
like
not
you're
even
getting
be
caught in a
asked.
lie.
And you know what? You know what?
It's not a lie, no, it's not.
It doesn't matter. It's about,
he-
you guys had it, let's be honest, guys. He had an argument with Drea Doffing. Can we agree to that?
Yeah, and
Okay.
none of us were there.
Was it-
You weren't there?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
They weren't there.
Voted for your buddy.
I didn't vote for my buddy. I don't have any buddies here.
Then you give me
I voted
a
for
real
me.
answer why she had to be
Because she
dismissed.
lied to us and we cannot
You
trust the
can't-
recommendation.
You can't come up with a lie. You cannot.
just
Hold on,
It wasn't a lie.
Come on,
Okay.
come on. Jordan, you're gonna be on camera. This
That's
is
fine.
going,
I'm fine with being on
Okay,
camera
that's
because
fine.
of what the decision that I made was justified.
okay.
I stay true to myself up here.
All right, hold on.
My
Leave
values.
it alone.
DJ,
You're
what is-
questioning me.
Okay, BJ, you got the floor. All right. He's got a response. All right. So,
So I talked to the people that were not principals to this, whatever happened. So I talked to Nikki, I talked to Jaylene, we're both there, and I considered them neutral, impartial witnesses to what happened. I communicated with the sheriff's office. I heard that, there was a kerfuffle. I got a little filling from, Jerry, but I wanted to hear from everybody other than Drea and Jerry.
You didn't hear from Drea though, right?
I said I wanted to hear from everybody but Drea. No, I didn't talk
You
to
didn't
Drea.
hear, okay.
But when I was going at the December meeting, when I was going through and stating all this, and I see her sitting there shaking her head, I was hearing from her in that way. Anyways, I'm going to read what I wrote about all of this. In early December, Drea was at Town Hall, not by board action, but by a board member, to provide training to brand new employees. At this time, there was some type of disagreement with a board member, and she told this board member that he had to leave Town Hall. I did not talk to Drea. Instead, I spoke with the people that were involved, that were present, as well as communicated with the sheriff's office to get what I considered to be the least influenced version of events. My conclusion is that nothing significant occurred, and her conduct trying to force a board member to leave the premise was personal and not rooted in anything that actually transpired. This all stems from a basis in my decision. She exhibits combative and adversarial traits with the board, and in my view wants the board to answer to her and to follow her lead rather than the way it actually works, which is that the planning commission is a subordinate position appointed by the board and is essentially citizen volunteers. Just read the agenda items from December 2025. Quote, planning commission concerns with board, that was added by Drea, and planning commission concerns with ordinance manual, added by Drea. The board doesn't answer to the planning commission. The planning commission answers to the board and provides recommendations. Furthermore, this is an event that happened before she was on the planning commission that has always irked me, and if I was on the board when she came up for approval, I wouldn't have approved her based on this. At a September 2024 Farmington Planning Commission meeting, Drea stated, quote, Castle Rock Township is going to become a city. I'm officially announcing that tonight. They are in session tonight for that. They are in the process of reviewing actionable efforts as we speak. She had no official role, was elevating herself above what she was, which was private citizen, and stating something that was not happening. We were not in session talking about that. I have the agenda and I have the minutes from that meeting. We never had any actionable discussion. So I don't know where she got that from, but to me, that is speaking totally out of turn and speaking for the township in a public meeting when she had no role. All of these things together, to me, is disqualifying. And the trying to kick a person out of town hall, if the situation was so crazy, she could have left. But instead, it's always amped up. And it's behavior that is not conducive to anything positive here, and I don't support it.
Was she on the PC when she made that statement?
No.
So any citizen can go in and say.
So any citizen can just, yeah, but you're gonna go and make an official statement on behalf of the township?
Well, how is it an official statement when she's not even on the planning?
Well, I'm just saying, like, the optics of that are terrible. And to me, obviously you disagree, but to me, that was meaningful, and that was stepping out of bounds.
Did you ever warn her? Did you give her any multiple warnings for any of the things you listed? Or are you just keeping track with these tick marks?
It was just the
until you
straw that
pull out
broke my
and get
camel's
rid of
back, and again, we have no policy, we have no procedure, we have no official policy for appointing people, we have no meaningful rules for removing people. So when I brought up all this stuff, sorry Nor, about that time when it happened to you, Nor wasn't at the meeting, it wasn't an agenda item, it looks like he was blindsided in a meeting by a paper ballot secret vote, which Drea was a member at that time. So I don't know how she could remove a board member without any notice, and then it happens to her, and suddenly that's
I
egregious.
did that 15 years ago. or
Does it
something.
matter?
So one wrong makes another
I'm just
wrong, and you
saying,
can make another wrong.
there is no policy or procedure, so then I looked at past practice. That was the last time it was done, and apparently it was acceptable at the time. So that's what we have.
To me, it really comes across that you and Jordan are basing this on your emotions.
Yeah.
Because.
I'm basing it on behavior.
But
But you're the one that says anything about the behavior.
You don't have anything that says bad behavior is.
And I don't
It's
know
for
if opinion
dismissal.
would be considered lying. Anybody could say anything, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. So I think it was just based on emotion, not basically fact. And if you go back to the original reason she was here, she was asked by a board member to come up and lend a hand, and then another one comes in, gets butthurt over it, and I don't know what's so private back there that people that are on the planning commission or board can go back there.
Actually, there's a policy or an ordinance. What we voted on.
We voted on it. I mean, did we not all vote that only board members go in the office?
Was that before or after?
That was before.
That
That was
before.
the meeting before.
Well, what's
Okay.
so-
Hold on,
what's
hold on.
so important back there
But
that you got two new
Come on,
employees that are
Jordan.
struggling.
Okay.
You got somebody that's willing to come up and help that was asked by a
let's-
board member.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning on this. So, let's go back to the beginning. what ended up happening is we were not in agreement. Drea can say that we were in agreement on this. I don't know how she knows that because she was not at the meeting, but apparently she knows that we were in agreement on something, right? We weren't. But anyways, we instructed Nikki and Jaylene when they were hired that nobody goes in. Did we not instruct them that nobody goes into the office? Or was that not what we instructed them when we were hiring them?
What is he talking about?
You don't have the floor right now, okay? And that, Norm, is that not what we agreed to? Nobody goes in the town hall office, right?
We agreed that we had to close the door because we're paying people that much money now. We want them to be working in there rather than visiting. So I made the motion that the door is closed, okay? But since we're talking about this, everybody brings it up, but they don't know the whole story. I do. I was canned by the board. And like BJ says, it was a ballot vote. I wasn't even there. I wasn't even in the building. But what happened was a board member came to my residence. And in fact, I was over here at that time. And on my way home, I called my wife and told her I was going to be home in a couple of minutes. And she says this individual was standing in my entryway. And I asked what he wanted. And he told me right out that at that time Pete was the chair of the board, I was chair of the planning commission, that I have influence on the planning commission, and he wants me to work with him to get things to be done the way he thought they should be done. I asked my wife to open the door and I kicked his ass out of my house. The next meeting, I was canned. And I feel good about it because I kept my principles.
Right.
I am not going to tell someone else or try to advise anybody else how to vote.
Right.
And that's what it is. That's why I got canned. And that shows no respect to a planning commission member whatsoever.
I agree. No.
I mean, I was on the planning commission, I think, more years than I have been now on the board. I mean, it's close. I'm 8-9 years in on each one. But these planning commissioners do need to be respected also.
Thank you.
They really do. I've been there. I know how board members sometimes treat planning commission members, and it's not very damn good.
And sometimes there's arguments, right?
Exactly.
And then you just get over it.
And we're all human beings, and if you can't take a little criticism, get the hell out or put big boy pants on and deal with it. That's how I am.
Thank you, Norm.
That's where I mean, I've been there, I've gone through it, I know both sides.
I'd like to say something on this. One, it wasn't on the agenda, and I consider that a major decision. And so I can vouch 100%, had no idea it was coming. Some people might have, I didn't.
Do you have to put every motion on the agenda that you plan to make?
I think on a decision like we just did with Schweitzer with that tonight, where we didn't have the info and didn't do it, I think that's the general direction the boards usually take if it's not on the agenda. The second thing with that, we had no time to do any research on it. We had no time to get either story, and only one side was given. So I don't know how anybody would know if Drea was lying or telling the truth, because we only heard one side. So I felt the decision was made in too much of a rush.
Well, I did ask those questions, and I did my own research, and that's why I asked the sheriff's office and the other people that were in the office, because, you know, you don't have to come to a meeting and be, you know, then say, well, I need to go out and find this information. You know, you can see that there's something going on and dig up the information yourself. And yeah, it wasn't on the agenda, but the agenda items were planning commission concerns with board, Drea doffing, planning commission concerns with ordinance manual, Drea doffing. Wouldn't that be an appropriate place to talk about concerns with Drea doffing?
It would, but I would think if we have a decision coming up on our conduct, we should have a heads up. And the second part of that, hang on, Jerry, you second the motion, which I cannot stomach, because you were 50% of the equation. And we didn't hear from you yet. So I really have a hard time with this.
Well, the other thing I have a problem with is the situation was between Drea and Jerry. If anybody comes in here with a permit, you don't vote on your own stuff.
Right.
In my opinion, Jerry should have been sitting out there.
I agree, totally agree.
To be honest with you, I couldn't care less about the whole police thing.
I have a
That had nothing
question.
to do with my decision.
I have a question.
If you didn't care, you shouldn't have seconded it.
Okay, I have
a question.
But it wasn't about that. Just 1 second and I'll get to you. So one of the other things that I had a problem with is on this agenda, okay, and yeah, I was the one. I typed this, planning commission concerns with the board, planning commission concerns with the ordinance manual. I typed those onto the,
And did we get any information with that to prepare?
what was on the agenda?
But that's all, those words, but we have no idea what you're gonna do.
Well, we were gonna discuss it, okay? And
Come
yeah.
How do we know?
on, Jerry.
We have no idea what you're gonna do.
I mean, I have the email from the sheriff's office in the packet.
Okay,
You did.
you know, you got me
We
on
did.
that.
I have a question.
Okay, you got me on that. And we're gonna get to you. And I'll go with you on that. Okay. Did you vote on the credit card tonight?
Let's stay with this situation.
No, because I'm answering your question.
Converting.
On the credit card, you voted on it. Did you get any information in your packet?
I did, but now a credit card, I can make a decision. That's not removing a person off a board.
Well,
Totally out of context.
you just
All
said
right,
that.
I got a question.
That is.
Okay, and you'll get called
Well,
on.
you're going,
All right.
you're going.
Well, why you keep dragging this through the mud? Well, I got a
And
question.
then you went to the credit card thing.
Fine.
That has something to do with the actual subject that we're talking about.
Go ahead. We're all in
My
here.
question is, how does the planning commission, all the members on the planning commission feel about this person in question's performance? How do they feel about having her on the planning commission? Because she supports them, they support her. They should be consulted on whether they want her there or not.
Unfortunately, it's not how it works.
Well, why? There's no ordinance on it. According to you, it's not how it works.
There's no.
Well, you're not the boss.
Okay, so in other words.
Jerry, is this kind of like you having 4 phone calls to me one day and about 5 emails and text messages? You and Molly trying to get me to pull a permit for my new driveway when I wasn't ready to do it? Do you recall that? You were trying to, I don't know why, but you're like, Neil, you need to get down to the town hall and you need to file for this permit. And you were insistent and you called me and you texted me and finally I told you, I'm not ready to pull my permit, leave me alone.
I didn't. I'd like
So
to see
why
where
do
I
you
called- I'd like
feel-
to see where I called you that many times and emailed you. And I don't know how that's relevant.
Well, it is relevant, it's relevant on your behavior.
Okay, so let me finish this. The reason why I brought this up.
I'm not
is
getting by
because
with it anymore.
I was one that put those on there. You can argue with, okay, I didn't support the documents or whatever in that. Drea came in there and edited that. And that's Drea that put that Drea Doffing behind there. I mean, do you think that's appropriate if a board member, any board member, put something on the agenda that then the planning commission members can come in and edit it? Is that appropriate?
I'm not running the back.
So you're making
I
more
have no idea
excuses.
what's going on back there.
I'd say you all readjust this and come up with something satisfactory besides a shot from the hip.
Okay.
Can I say something, please?
So, just one second. So if you put stuff on the agenda, I can come in and edit it?
The supervisor, you're saying no?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just put it on at our beginning of our meeting.
No, but if you put something on there, could I come in and edit it? Would you think that'd be appropriate?
Are we
If you
splitting
called
hairs
and
or
added
what?
something to the
That's-
agenda,
what
would it be
is-
appropriate for me to call and edit it?
How are we going
Come
from
up
this
with all
to
these
Dre?
reasons, like, yeah.
What are we
Because you're
doing?
asking why it was on the agenda.
You're now going to
Maybe go
board
ahead.
procedure.
Smart people.
I feel like of all of you up there, BJ, you've got the most like visceral reaction to her. And it seems very personal. I would say, if you don't have a policy to remove people, then you shouldn't just get to randomly do it. And then come up with 1,001 reasons why, that you never gave her a heads up, you never gave her a warning. So I'm asking you, all 5, be men of integrity tonight. Do the right thing, reinstate her. And if she pulls any crap that you're bringing up, call it to her attention. But do not just across the board say, you're out. Because you're creating a big rift.
You are.
And you're a citizen.
That's right. Yeah. And all the
Right,
planning
so we're
commission
already
people
with
work,
the
they,
citizens here.
didn't you guys quit after, I mean, they
Yes.
like.
Okay.
Drake.
Bottom line, do we have a motion on this?
Sandy has a thing.
Just quickly, I was on the board, planning commission, with, Norm when he was kicked off. I was on it maybe just a few months, made vice chair, and then all of a sudden he was off, and I had to scramble because all of a sudden I was chair. But Norm has always been a good member to me. He darn near has a photographic memory. We didn't always agree on everything on the planning commission, but we always walked out as friends. That doesn't mean we don't. And that's the way our planning commission works, and that's the way the board of supervisors works, and that's the way we work with you or try to work with you. We always have in the past. But as far as policy, no, there has been no written policy. If we needed a planning commission member, we did ask them to send an email in writing with a little bit of a resume. And then there would be several, and they would be reviewed by the planning commission. They would maybe make a recommendation, then it would go forward to the board of supervisors. They would read them and generally take our recommendation as to who is to be on. But maybe it is a good idea. We do need a written policy of
And we're
what needs to be
working
done.
on it.
Right.
And we got the attorney already working on that, so. Okay, do I have a motion on this, or do we want to move on to the rest of
Yeah,
the?
you do have a motion. I'm just thinking how to state it. I see where everybody's coming from, but then I look at our meeting last Thursday, and you take all this away tonight and go back to that meeting, and it was so great to see the board and the citizens working together and communicating together, and why the hell can't we have that back in this township?
Yeah.
That's what it should be. Now, we're starting to look like Farmington, and that's a damn disgrace.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
And with that being said, I'm hoping that we can mend things. I'm making a motion, we reinstate Drea and try to heal things, but if things go sour, we need to talk to her and address it then. But that's my motion.
Norm's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Heat seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Nay.
Aye.
Okay, motion fails 2-3.
And I'll say that the reason that I voted nay, because she lies.
Jordan, shame on you.
That was a shame.
That's a terrible statement.
All right, moving on. We need to.
You guys are forming your
Your little clip.
view
We moved on.
about how people
No, we
look at
haven't.
you.
I'm not forming.
We remember.
Okay.
We
well,
see
we
the
moved on.
dishonesty here.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
We need a motion to
We
approve.
got off 4 of us, 5, 6,
Ma'am.
7.
Okay, we need to move on with our meeting,
They need
okay?
a bigger hammer.
All right. We need a motion to approve the transfer of $30,000.
You skipped one. You skipped
Did I skip one? Oh, Sue, I'm sorry, I skipped you. Okay, Sue, regarding the ordinances and the Castle Rock mailer.
Yes. Start with the mailer. Maybe I can stop you, so you want me to.
We have to look at that and edit it later. I already noticed some typos.
The mailer,
You're talking about the Chronicle now?
the Chronicle.
Okay.
I suppose, yeah. When you put that in there for the, people that are running, and you're gonna put that sample ballot in there, right?
Is that the plan? Put the sample ballot in
That's a
there?
sample ballot in there, so people can see what it is.
How do you get a sample ballot?
You can shrink it down.
No, but how do you get it down?
Okay, he's got a better copy. Mine's
Page
really bad.
I sent them all a copy. so
Okay,
they all have what
the
we're looking at.
ballot can be shrunk down, you can shrink it down like to get it on the Chronicle. But I would like you to add, I wrote this down, like when a person reads, shall the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November of even numbered years be designated as the date of the Castle Rock Township general election. I believe you need to add, so people,
We can't edit
You
that.
can't edit that.
well, I talked to her today, you can.
You talked to Michelle?
Yes.
Oh.
And I talked to her because
I had.
She told me it was standard language.
No, she told me, I told her what it said, and she said, well, you should, yeah, she agreed with me when I told, she said, you guys can do the ballot how you want. And she said that they usually do put some kind of information there so you know what you're voting on. And I think it should be stated in here, by voting yes, you are voting for 4-year terms versus 3-year terms, current 3. But people need to know what this means, like, even numbers doesn't tell you how long the terms are, because this is increasing the terms from 3 years to 4 years, and people won't know that. They're gonna go, oh yeah, I'll come in November, so I don't have to come in March, and they don't know that it's changing the terms.
You said that we can change that language?
She said that. She said that there's a place you can go where they recommend that you do put things on there so that they know what the question means. Otherwise, you might have to have it in the, when people go in and vote in the booths, you might have to have a card printed up on there that just states that.
What the terms would look
But like for this question, have it right where you see it though, like.
What if instead of
Some people
shrinking
don't.
this,
You can
should
shrink
we
it.
have a little paragraph here explaining what,
I mean, yeah, the
Yeah,
only
that people
problem
might
is
come
if
in
you
and not know
don't
and see.
get that.
oh, sure, I know what you're saying.
It's just
If-
that if.
I know what you're saying.
The thing is, if they see
Yep.
it, it's funny how people are visual, like if they see
Mhm.
what's on my ballot and they see this is down here.
Can how many election judges do we have? I don't know if this is
There's
legal, but
4
when
or
people
5.
come in, can you hand them a
There's
card explaining what that question is?
You only-
Right, I don't know if that's
No,
legal.
you can't give them anything about who to vote for, but you can
Right.
help them understand, like when you go in for this question, it's saying this, but you're
Correct.
not telling them anything else.
Okay, yeah.
You can expand on.
You
the-
can just say, when you
Yeah.
vote yes, you're voting for terms to be 4 years instead of 3.
Correct.
That's,
That may be helpful.
but I think you should put that right underneath here. There's plenty of room to just put voting yes is for term,
Mm-hmm.
voting
Yep.
no is, stays
Because
the
they
same.
haven't printed these yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
She
'cause
said that.
So I remember, like, at their last meeting, she said, we pretty much, like, if you adopt this meeting, we can get it on the ballot,
Well,
because the deadline was.
No, I think you get that, and if you can't,
Right.
then you're gonna have to have it on a nice
Could
card.
you email Michelle?
I will, and I apologize, I said you can edit that, I just said, look at this for your final copy, and I said approve.
Oh, you
So I
already
just
sent
assumed that you couldn't
Where did
edit
you
it.
send it to?
Oh, this was before today.
Oh, because she.
She told you that today, didn't
I
you?
correct.
And I think, do we lose our annual meeting?
No, I checked on that, and
If
she
we go in
said
November?
we
No,
had to
because
check with the lawyer, but she goes, I'm not a lawyer, she asked the lawyer, but you should be able to still do yours.
But
Because there were like, I think
It depends.
Douglas and Hampton are doing it, but I think it's still.
Do you do the annual meeting that night, November election night?
No, you do it in March.
Oh, you still do it
in
in
March,
March?
and see, people need to know that,
I don't
it
know.
won't change.
I have no.
I checked on all this stuff, it's still in March, so people still,
Right.
so it's like, it's kind of nice to vote on it.
Well, we
It's nice to vote on the November day, I get it.
Yeah, I know, but
Because
you
you're
guys
here.
have longer terms,
Yeah.
and you don't know how people are gonna feel about that.
Well, it's just
Right.
exactly. I mean, turnout
That's
will
the big thing, is.
be, turnout will be better and it'll be cheaper than next year. Turnout would be greater.
That's what I was.
I know, but it's a matter of people want 4 terms,
Yep.
4 years.
I get what you're saying, and what BJ was saying is basically how I base my decision. Cheaper, more people turn out. I didn't think about the annual meeting.
Yeah, a lot of people,
Yeah.
most of the people here, I shouldn't say this, but where I live, mostly elderly people.
Yeah.
They like to come in and vote, they like to see each other.
Yep.
Let me
You know, it's
curious to
all
see
part
if
of
it
the-
passes or not, honestly. Like,
Right.
I can see it going either way.
So do I got a motion? So let's hold it real quick. So can I get a motion then to, Nikki, see if she can change it to change it to 4 years?
By voting yes, terms would extend.
Oh, you already did. You did it. You saw the stuff I said.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. She
Can
already
we need that then, what the motion is?
She already emailed.
I already.
Oh, okay. All right.
How does it, can we,
No, that's,
can we change this?
So that basically, BJ has the wording down here, we can have change it to what?
By voting yes, terms would extend to 4 years.
That's quick and.
That's what I asked.
Okay.
That's an election every other year then.
It's every even year.
Every 2
It's
years.
every 2 years. There's
The
some,
first
there's
one
some
would be
months that you
28.
vote every 4 months.
Okay. 2 people will be up, then 3 people, then 2, yeah. So, DJ made the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry, Pete seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so then I had some stuff on there about ordinances, and you were talking tonight about the lawyer and what he said about there should be in the ordinances and stuff, because I was wondering how you wrote up the nuisance, and it sounded like you were talking about the nuisance ordinance, and why he doesn't want to put that in there, is that what you were talking about?
I copied word for word what you sent me.
Yeah, but is that what you were talking about, that he said he didn't like that? Isn't
I don't
that
think
what-
that's the right one.
Which one are you talking about?
That would be the property value. Is that the nuisance one?
Yes,
Yes, cause or contribute to depreciation of
Yes.
value.
that's the exact one I
Okay,
said.
so that's fine, I mean, but I'm gonna probably bring it up again another time, but I think you should almost get another attorney. Don't we have another attorney we could get an opinion of sometime? I mean, some of
We
the
have
things he
another one,
says-
but I don't think we've ever used them.
We have.
Well,
I think
Well,
we should think of that, but that's whatever. I just feel like some of the things that he's recommending doesn't sound right to me. On a couple other things.
Well, we have our reorg in April. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
that's true,
something
but
we should
anyway,
talk about then. you
And
know.
then you're doing the solar panel ordinance, did you guys, you're gonna add that in about not going on 3 sides of people's houses that we talked about last week?
If we do that, we start it all over again.
No, last week when I talked about it, you guys said that would be good not to go around 3 people's houses, remember?
I think it's a great idea.
So you didn't.
Well, here's the problem. That was already sent, we already had a public hearing on solar, and that was shipped off to Andrew. And if we want to change that now, like add that 3 sides,
Not to put that around.
yeah, I don't know if we'd have to have another public hearing.
Yep.
We do?
We
Yeah.
do it, we'd start the ball all over again.
But aren't you having a hearing about the solar ordinance?
We are, but it's not a public hearing. If we want to change something, we'd have to hit the brakes and do another public hearing on solar.
But could we, when we approve have the public hearing for the whole ordinance?
We could, it just delays the solar portion.
we could put it in and then redo it again. Short.
Yeah,
So we adopt it standalone and then adopt it again?
Adopt the standalone, and then we could
Okay.
review
Last
that.
week you
solar
guys sounded
part.
like.
We want to get it going, so we get it in there.
I think that, yeah, what they're saying, the best thing would to do was, let's finish the solar thing
Yes.
at our next meeting, so we can
And-
have a shot at stopping them batteries.
Okay, and then.
And then when we do the whole ordinance book, let's say in a month, the public hearing, we could add that in there.
So then, at the next 1 or 2 ordinance meetings, you bring solar back up. Was solar, I don't know what the posting looked like, did it say everything but, because we broke that out? I wouldn't think it would. We're gonna have to repost it anyway, so I guess it don't matter.
There's a bunch of research that says that you should never go around 3, that's where I got this from. You
Right.
should
I think it's a good
never
idea.
go around 3 sides on
Yep.
anybody's property.
Yep.
That's just ridiculous. And that's where I got that.
I would like to see this on our ordinance, the solar stuff as fast as possible. If we could stop these batteries.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you imagine, say, they have 6 acres of batteries and that would start on fire for days and days and days on end? We're talking about the air around all these people that are gonna be breathing that stuff in.
Well,
My goodness
this
gracious.
same Atlantica,
Yeah,
I did some research and I called them too. Their big thing is batteries, and they're into the 6G batteries, which is really a lot more, and it's more dangerous, the stuff in a 6G compared to a 5G.
Why?
And I don't know what the difference is, but it actually is more hazardous, whatever's in the 6G that harms people, like inside your skin or fries you or something. It's like, you have to do the research, it's amazing, but 6G is way more dangerous than 5G. I don't know why, I'm just telling you that. But they had a fire a couple years ago in Arizona with one of their farms, and they got sued like millions of dollars because it went up into the air for days and it polluted the whole community. And so they had to pay the pollution control, fine them a ton of money for that.
The township?
The same with Atlantica.
Oh.
So is understanding, at the, whatever next meeting, vote to pass it as is, and then
Right.
just roll the changes into the other
That's the way I
aspects.
understand.
Yeah.
don't you agree?
I mean, I think that's the most
Yeah.
streamlined way we
So
could
long
possibly
we
do
can
it.
keep it moving. you
Yeah.
know?
Yep, no, I think that's a good plan.
What's the plan?
The plan is to stay the course with the solar. And we
As
will-
is, yeah.
As is, and we can make an alteration to it when we do the rest of the ordinance book.
So we'll just have 2 updates within 30 days or
Yep.
60 days or whatever the heck it is.
And you better put it in your notes to make sure tomorrow that we have a resolution to sign for the ordinance manual. And then remember, he also has to write the summary to go in the newspaper. It won't be official
For-
until
for
it
the
hits
solar.
For solar.
Yep.
Because it won't be official until it hits the newspaper. So
Can I
make
ask
sure
a
and-
question just to clarify something for myself?
Yep.
The board members out there, are you guys in favor of the solar or opposed to it?
100% opposed.
I don't think there's anybody that wants it.
Okay, I didn't know, so.
Yeah,
Our problem with it is that they go to the PUC and get their permits from them, and they bypass the township. And the
I
state,
kinda wanna talk about that.
and the state law basically says that we can't really do much about it. So, okay, so finish up with what you
Okay,
got.
no, I got one more thing here I wanna read. I wanna hand this out to each one of you.
you even highlighted it for us.
These are just-
No, that's good.
See, okay, I'm gonna read my statement that I would like to clarify for the record the point that I was trying to make at last month's meeting regarding the solar ordinance and the planning commission's recommended 500 setback and 5% of total lot coverage of solar equipment as referenced in the planning minutes that I just handed to you guys, July 24, 2023, for the Board of Supervisors to consider. Instead of the planning commissioner's recommendations, the board members, BJ Elvestead made the motion and David Nicolai seconded to change the planning commission's recommendations. BJ and Dave voted to lessen solar panel setbacks to 300 and increase 10% coverage, which in turn is of personal gain for the solar panel property owners only and no property protection from residents' homes. BJ Elvestead's father-in-law is currently signed up for the proposed Castle Rock solar project, and Dave Nicolai owns property in this proposed project as well. The board members were not acting in good faith for the betterment of the township and their neighbors and residents, but for themselves. The ethical conduct expected by township board members is to assure the township residents can continue to have full confidence in the integrity of its officials that are supposed to do their due diligence. Under Minnesota Statute 36617.17, the purpose of the Planning Commission serves as an advisory board to the town board. While the board does have final authority, it is expected to give due weight to Planning Commission recommendations, especially on technical land use matters. Disregarding these recommendations without rationale undermines the planning process and hurts the township. Current and past members of this board ignored the Planning Commission's recommendations as shown in these minutes of July 24. As I understand, there were a number of times a board member and others tried to bring back the setback of 500 feet, but not enough board members were willing to reinstate the recommendation from the Planning Commission. Randoph tried enough times, yet some of you chose to ignore her and shut her down. She has done so much work for our township, and yet she is treated with such disrespect. Was this part of the stall tactic that allowed the setback changed by compromise board members so as to benefit the solar project at the expense of the affected residents? I attended a planning commission meeting sometime in the past few months. I was inquiring about where this holdup was on this most pressing solar project for so many property owners, as it was under a time constraint with the moratorium on. Here I found out that the board was ignoring the request by the planning commission to relook at this. I asked questions like, why do you guys bother to come and do all this work? especially when you're not appreciated by the board, who seems to be disrespecting your function. They agreed, they felt they were not being acknowledged, and they are right. They are being outright ignored. This is poor governance, to say the least. We need to have honest, transparent officials that truly care for the township and us residents by well-being by protecting our property rights and our lifestyle. Unfortunately, we do not have this confidence in our officials that currently have a majority rule over our township. I'm asking you to take this opportunity to make this right, to do the right thing. I want you to vote tonight. Please have the new revised solar ordinance effective date be amended back to July 24, 2023, where this debacle should have never been allowed to happen. I nor anyone else that is affected or concerned by this travesty do not want to have invading our home atmosphere a 1.5 mile wide by 3 mile long industrial railroad track with metal, black glare, hazardous materials, flammable battery storages, affecting natural wildlife along with any health dangers that come from this, barging through our unique rural farming community for 30 or more years. How does this make any sense? I expect my comments to be included in today's Board of Supervisors meeting. Minutes. Thank you.
So I'm confused what your request is for, because we just voted to make it 500 feet.
I know, so I want it to be post-dated back to the 23rd, because whenever this project comes up and whoever it is, and it might not even matter, because let's say Atlantica doesn't even come through and you end up with a different application in a year, then this doesn't even matter. But if it is Atlantica, they should have to adhere to the new ordinance.
That's what we want, that's our goal.
Well, the only way that can happen is if you backdate it.
I don't think you can backdate it.
Well, I don't know, I have to ask the lawyer.
Well, lawyer.
I don't know why you can't backdate an ordinance, amend it back to
Well,
a
if we
date.
could, then we could put data center restrictions on there and backdate it before then. And there would be no data center.
I don't know if it's legal to backdate.
I don't know, okay, maybe it has to be
I would
like,
love to do that.
maybe it needs to be like, that this is
that's
this is our solar ordinance, and when the solar company comes in here, they abide by this. That's all I'm saying. And you know, I did talk with Judge O'Reilly and people over there a couple of times.
Who?
Over
Administrative
PUC,
law judge.
call it PUC, whatever,
Okay.
on the phone. They did not come here. They are not putting this on us. So when you say, Jordan, that we didn't want this and they're coming here, that's incorrect. You don't know the history. This goes back to David Nicolai and his solar panel farm that he had out there. He is the one that advertised that Castle Rock Township is ready for a solar farm. This is 8 years ago. We're ready for a solar farm, and he has this advertisement and how we're so is he the mayor of Castle Rock asking them to come? Well, what I'm trying to say is the PUC didn't pick us. We picked them. So I don't think it's fair to gaslight all of us that know the truth by sitting up there and saying that BJ doesn't have a conflict of interest. He has no control. No, it's all up to the PUC. That's not integrity. That's not honest with us. I just want the truth on the table here. I know you guys care about it, but let's be honest with why it's here.
Willing land renters, willing landlords. They went out and scooped up people willing to rent, right?
People around here that live here know why we have the solar
Okay,
farm
but
here.
what is that doing for us? What is that going to do?
Don't keep acting like you're working things, certain people that have skin in the game are working behind the scenes for this to happen, but then you act like you don't want it.
We all voted 5-0 on all of the solar ordinances.
I don't
That's
think
what I
you're
don't
right.
get.
I don't know if anybody in the audience understands what I'm saying.
I don't understand your goal. I don't understand what you
My
want
goal
us
is
to do.
just be honest about
I've been nothing but
We-
honest. We voted 5-0 on all
it.
of the solar
Because if we
ordinances.
could be honest with it, we could at least get the thing to look the way we want it to look. We don't have to go with what the PUC is saying.
So you believe that we could write ordinances that'll override the PUC?
I do.
That's what we did.
No, okay,
I've
so,
said this a bunch of times, if they were listening to, if they were abiding by our ordinances, this thing would be no more than max 1/3 the size. Right now, you can't have more than 64 acres of solar in a section of land, and they blow that out of the water. And that's
why
been
do
in-
we want them?
And that's
anyway?
been in place since 2023. So if they had to abide by our ordinances, at best, this thing would be 1/3 the size.
That's probably better.
It probably is,
It's
but
probably
they're not
better, see,
abiding.
it should fit in with our comprehensive
You know what I'm saying?
plan.
Like, if they had to do this, then it would be dramatically different, and it's not.
So what's the purpose for an ordinance?
So let me ask you a question.
It
David,
Just to be
should-
honest.
There's supremacy clauses in
If
state
they
and federal
do
law,
follow
where the
us.
state has laws that supersede us, and feds have laws that supersede them. Unfortunately, this is one where we get superseded.
So in what you provided us, it says Dave Nicolai made a motion of 64 acres per section. Okay? Dave Nicolai made that motion.
5% to 10.
Okay?
So there never was a cap until Dave proposed one, so he proposed at, I think a joint,
I'm talking
I
about
think
the
at a
other
joint meeting,
motions, not all.
there was never a cap, right? Dave proposed a 10% cap, and then when the planning commission was doing their thing, they went and made it 5%. And we had talked about 300 feet from a house, and they went and made it 500 feet. And I said this at the last meeting, when I came up with these distances that were acceptable to me, because we all have our own individual opinions, I looked at my peers in Dakota County. Okay, so before we updated this ordinance, the distance from a residence was 75 feet. We voted to raise it to 300 feet. So I voted to quadruple the distance. Yes, I didn't vote for it to go to 500 feet, but I voted for it to go from 75 to 300. In Empire, their distance from a residence is 300 feet. That is the maximum of any township in Dakota County. Waterford also has 300 feet from a property line. Eureka has, or from a residence, I'm sorry. Eureka has none. Greenvale only doesn't buy conditional use permits, there is no uniform standard. Marchand Township, wholesale solar, 100 feet from a residence. Ravenna, they don't have one. Douglas, Vermillion, and Hampton, the standards are the same as any other structures in that zoning district.
Are you talking about a huge solar?
Yes, these are all wholesale
Huge.
solar.
Huge.
Yep. So, and we have, before, we had a 50-foot side yard setback from a property line with the house. We doubled it to 100. Nobody else has anything like that. They have just the normal side yard setbacks.
How many
So
years
I
is
voted,
that?
this was in 2023 when we adopted this.
No,
So-
those ones you're talking about, those setbacks, because today they're making the setbacks.
This is current. I updated this. This is as of 2 months ago.
When you did your due diligence, did you also ask homeowners if they felt that it was too close to their homes?
We
Or
had a
did you
public,
just go by stats?
I mean,
Yes,
there's
we had a
public
public
hearing, but
No, not public hearing, I mean, you're looking at numbers, but you probably didn't find out if anybody had a chance to really
I
understand.
mean, my parents live next door to one. One got put right next to them. So, yeah, my bedroom window from when I was a kid looks out over one. It's, you know, the panels are probably 500 feet away, but they have all those telephone poles right behind their house. So, yeah, I mean, and my dad was a board member in Empire, and somebody came and he's like, yep, it's behind my house. It meets our standards.
Yeah, but I'm
Boom.
not talking about them, I'm not talking.
I'm just
about
saying, like,
this Castle
I'm saying that, you know, this is literally next to them. I'm on their property. I see these things, you know, and, you know, you ask them and,
Used to them. You know,
We're
you see
literally
them a
doing
lot. I know.
everything we can to get these solar ordinances through as fast as possible.
I know, but you know what? Did
You
you,
want
you've
us-
seen the diagram of it, right? How
Yeah, I have,
looks.
it sucks. I'm
Okay.
not happy about it. It shouldn't be
Because of-
that way. It
because of
shouldn't
our
be that
conflict.
big.
Right, because of our
Shouldn't even
comp
be
plan.
out here at all.
But because of our
Right.
comp plan
It
and our ag land and our rural, and we're preserving ag land, we should have it like the topography where it's like fits in where you don't notice it like this. Like whether it's the vertical and the clustering, so when you see people that live out here with their houses, there can be, I've seen pictures of them, they're like not bad, they almost look like a pond over there and a fence over there, it doesn't look like this.
So, let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could get an attorney to come and explain to us how we're gonna override the state on these, what they're doing with this
What do
plan?
you mean I should come and bring an attorney?
Well, let me figure this out.
I'm
Okay, so, I mean, you're gonna lose hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're thinking, on your property value, right? So I would think if you could.
No, what are you saying?
Okay.
No, I'm not thinking that.
You don't think you're gonna lose any value on your property?
I'm not gonna lose hundreds of thousands.
Will you lose 50,000?
Probably, yeah,
Okay,
easily. And
okay.
you know what? I'm not a good one to ask. Why don't you ask the people that live with it going around their house?
We'll
They're
go
the
with-
ones you should ask.
We'll go with 50. But I mean, if somebody were to do that, and again, we've run this by our attorney, and I mean, I think.
I can't say about it.
Okay. Well, then I guess there's no reason to talk about that.
That attorney.
What do you, it sounds like you want additional action from us.
What I want, yes, I do. I
What?
want to make sure that when this thing comes through, it doesn't look like this.
Okay,
I
and
think
we're
a lot of
doing
people-
everything in our power right
Well,
now to make sure of
okay.
that. Because we just rushed this whole solar
I
section.
know, but I think you're missing the part about it fitting in like subtly, like whether it's clustered a little bit so it's not as many
We
panels.
have,
Whatever.
I mean, they're not even abiding by property lines with setbacks. They're just going right
I'm
across
supposed
the,
to, who's gonna let this happen? They're not doing it.
right, that's what I'm saying, like, what more?
About
can
4
we
years
do?
ago, my neighbor had someone knocking on her door saying, I'm a solar company and I represent Castle Rock Township.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to let you know in a nice way. I'm just telling you that people a long time ago were promoting this behind the township's back without our ordinances, and they went and applied at the PUC.
All right, I'm not saying
So
that
what
I
I'm
don't
saying
believe
is
you.
it doesn't have to look like this. That's all I'm saying.
And we did add a whole bunch of stuff about surrounding it 100%.
Well, I
different
think as
setbacks.
long as it looks like this, it's whatever. That's all I wanted to
But
say.
these are willing,
If
but
they
these
follow
are
our
willing
ordinances,
property.
it won't look like that.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
But they won't. And
That's
these
why
are
we did.
willing property owners that are renting their property. Nobody's putting a gun to their head. They're willingly doing it.
It's us getting yelled at every week about this.
So
Us five.
let me ask you a question. How could we stop Cole Empey from renting his land to the solar? What could we do to stop that? Explain that to me. How do we go to Cole Empey and say, no, you can't rent your land to the solar? How would we do that? Well, that's what you're asking us to do.
Well, you know what, I've been told that I should tell the farmers the real truth about the solars.
Come on, go.
The farmers, if they were smart, they wouldn't even do it.
Yeah.
Minnesota is the worst state.
And some farmers don't.
Dave Nicolai told me to my face 3 years ago, he said, Susan, my solar farm doesn't make hardly any money, I just can't tell the company that. I'm like, what? He goes, it does really bad, and he was telling me this.
Huh? I question how they make money too, but they obviously
Well, if the
do.
farmers,
They're spending their
and
money.
another farmer down south here, he took his contract to a lawyer. I don't know if any of these farmers had their contracts looked at by lawyers, I hope they did, because he had it looked at by a lawyer, 2 lawyers, and they said, run, run.
I mean, Norm, you've been approached. Could you make more money with solar on your farm or what you do growing product? What could you make more money at? More money, that's the end of the question.
I maybe could at the beginning, but in the long run, I don't know.
But at the beginning, what would you make more money at?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And there's certain people out there that are gonna look at it and say, you know what, I'm in it for a lot of people
No,
are
I
in
get
for the
it,
short run. They just
I
wanna
don't
make
need
money.
to waste everybody's time
Okay.
on that. I just wanted to
All right, well, we appreciate you
So
coming
thank
in.
you. Can I just ask, do you actually have any kind of control over how it looks in the long run? You don't?
Yes, we do. The
You don't?
PUC told me that we
Okay,
We
all right.
put ordinances in place to, kind of like looking at their screening plan, it's not a screening plan, they're putting trees up in like 3 spots. And we try to put ordinances in place that would require them to do 3 rows of trees around houses and to surround it completely with trees, 2 rows of trees. And we try to put something in there, the first year, they have to be somewhat mature too. I don't remember every change that we made over the years.
But I mean, not like the plantings and stuff, but she said vertical, whatever the picture was, she wanted
Right.
to go vertical. Can you ask them to do it that way, or?
I mean, you can ask for
You can
anything.
ask,
You can ask for anything. If you go on Minnesota website and you type in like Minnesota and then type in large-scale solar farms, you gotta go to large scale, right? And once you go to that, you'll see documents from the state of Minnesota that clearly in bold print say that when they do these projects, they will bypass all local, county, township ordinances. They basically come in, they get the run of the show because it's a PUC project.
Maybe the board should try to schedule a meeting with the PUC.
And this is the whole reason that I asked for
I'm
Drew
just saying, like,
Roach to be here.
let's go into the belly of the
We
beast.
can talk to him and let him
I don't
know what's
know,
going
I don't
on.
know either. Maybe they
No,
said
you
they're gonna
can't
do it.
do it.
Here's
No,
my
why-
only thought on
he said,
that.
what am I here for? I said, I don't know.
May not
What?
apply is when they
He
have
asked me
public
why
hearing.
you guys
the
got him
PUC
here, and he
was
didn't
there.
know.
I'm sure they would say that.
I didn't have his contact information.
We were
I
there.
have voice
I have
memos.
his number.
I'd like to hear him say it.
Everybody has
Because
his
all of
number
this is
except
just
for me.
interpreted.
Well, I
Like,
have it now.
Let's do it.
But
I
I
agree.
plan on
We
talking
should
to
ask.
him
What are they
because
gonna say?
something's
No.
gotta
Well,
change.
we asked.
Rika is getting eaten up by landfill. We're
Yeah,
getting
we
eaten
do.
up by Farmington.
I-
Rika's getting eaten
If
up
you
by
want-
Farmington.
She's
I mean, there has to be some sort of protections for
PUC
us.
is right now.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to say,
Yep, I
BJ
will.
is right. We have no control. And how these solar companies get by with this, they go to court. They actually go to court with the judges and say, this is for the greater good of all of the citizens in Minnesota. This is how they present it, and the judges fall for this stuff. They don't live down here. They don't see it. They don't
Well,
get
what if the
protection.
people that live down here went down there and collectively, all the citizens of Castle Rock went to the PUC, went to the state and said, bullshit,
There
that's
have
enough.
been meetings, but they're not widely publicized, and I think there's also public comment times on all this stuff that you can email in. This has all been done already.
I know some of you didn't get the email, but there was a public hearing on October 22nd, I believe. They had a public hearing, and again, I understand that some of you didn't get the mailer. We didn't send it out, and it had nothing to do with us. But the PUC is required to send out, just like when we have something going on, we have to notify people in a certain area. And the meeting was held up in Empire Township, that's where they held the meeting. I went to it. And that
I went to all of the meetings for the power lines,
Yeah, it
Didn't
didn't
make
do
a
much
damn
good,
bit of
did it?
Don't do any good for that either.
nothing.
Didn't do damn bit of
It's
good.
worth the
Nope.
dumping ground.
I'll make a motion to attempt to schedule a meeting with PUC.
Okay, BJ's made a motion to attempt to schedule a meeting with the PUC. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Jordan seconds.
BJ,
Oh.
you gotta show them some really pretty pictures of the
All
ones
those in
that
favor
are
signify
like
by saying
subtle.
aye. Aye.
I don't know
Opposed?
that I'll be here.
Motion's
By the
5-0.
time it shakes out.
Tell them to pick a day. If they want to do a conference call, we'll get 2 people together and at the meeting
You
hall.
can't be here, I'll sit in.
Yeah, that went really well for us with this.
Should we-
BJ, if you can't be here, I'll sit in for you.
For me.
We
So love to.
Folks, we gotta move on, or we're gonna
So,
get done.
here, hold on, just real quick. So should we have, because I don't even know who the heck you get in, should we have Andrew try to reach out and schedule something on our behalf, or like what, like how you actually?
And we need to explain to them why we want a meeting.
Yep.
How about if we reached out to
Wait
Drew
till your
Roach and see if he'd help us
ordinance
get somebody down here?
That ain't a bad idea.
I know we won't
Maybe
get
he would
anywhere
attend
if we
too.
don't make noise.
He likes bringing a contingent.
Okay?
I don't know.
You wanna reach out to Drew? You and him are buddies now.
Okay, see if he would. Yeah, that would be good if he could be involved too.
Okay.
I'd
so
say
we're
we
gonna
make
hold
as
Drew
much
Roach to
noise
see if
as
he can get hold
possible.
of somebody at the PUC to come down here and address our
When I'm
concerns.
kind of tired of all the, well, statute says this and this, it's like
I
every,
agree.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else on that subject, or are we ready to go?
Where are we still on the Chronicle?
No, we gotta get to that part.
Okay.
We ain't there yet. Did we get the 30,000 approved? No, okay, so we're there. All right, so Jaylene indicated that she's gonna need $30,000 to be able to transfer that to be able to pay the bills and cover the payroll.
So moved.
Pete makes a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Norm seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. So you got the gist of the ordinance that
So
you
is that
approved
going
the 30 grand?
Is that savings or from savings to checking? Sorry.
I'm not sure.
Savings? Well, we got plenty of money in savings.
We have a lot of money in savings.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's just gonna
We
get
got
102,000.
She actually doesn't need approval to take it out of savings.
I would agree.
I told her it's better always to ask,
I
so
mean,
so that we know what's going on.
Just to sell an investment, you're saying?
Right, she needs an approval to take it out of the CD, but not out of the savings.
Yeah, I just told her anytime she's doing that, it's always a good idea to let the board know.
That's a good thing you think we're doing.
You know, I'd rather she ask and, you know, so like when they buy stuff in the office, I mean, we gave them $1,000, they could have bought the scanners on their own, but I said, you know what, best to ask the board.
Didn't we approve 30,000 last month?
She didn't need it. Wasn't?
We approved.
Did we approve
something?
We approved it, but she didn't end up moving
She did the
it.
same thing, she took it out of savings and that.
No.
No, I think she approved it last month, but then she didn't have to take
Oh,
it.
okay.
That's what the deal was. She thought she'd need it, but she didn't.
Okay.
Okay, para pre-approval for para payment bi-weekly in order to continue bi-weekly pay.
Okay, so from my understanding is we get fined if we don't make a para payment within 10 days after our payroll. So by us making monthly payments, we're kind of in violation, we're gonna get a fine for it. So she wants to start making the para payments bi-weekly versus monthly.
What is it?
Huh?
Public employee retirement.
Yeah.
So moved.
Yep. I'll second it.
Okay, who made the motion?
Me.
BJ made the motion, Pete seconds, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, we got the Chronicle going, we got the ballot we're gonna put on the Chronicle, we got the BIOS already, we got the issue about becoming a city on there. The only other thing we had talked about is that we were gonna add on there the selling of the Castle Rock Park. Do we still wanna put that on there?
Yes, we do. Because we're gonna need it if we're going to become a city.
Okay, so,
You might need parks when you become a city.
That's a good point.
You will need parks, I should say, not
It's
lights.
discussion, right?
Wherever you have homes.
So should we just put in there discussion of the future of Rocky, so it doesn't make it seem like there's any preconceived?
That might be a question for Andrew before the annual meeting. If you, or Curry, wrong attorney. If we're using that one on the city discussion, because cities have to have parks wherever there's so many homes.
I thought that's just in their building, and I thought they were required to put them in, because like you go up to,
Right.
you go up to St. Paul, we're not gonna knock down houses and build a park.
Right.
The developers usually have to put in the park.
That's how that park got down there.
Or contribute
Well, if
money.
we sell it and become a city and they need a park down there, that would really get interesting.
Well, okay, what happens if they need a park over in Albatross, what are you gonna do?
We're gonna have to build one. But why would we sell one if they need one there?
I think it's gonna mainly be in new development.
Yes, I agree with, that's only gonna be in a new development.
So
Sure.
I said I think.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't wanna sell it and then have to try to buy someone's land and do
It's gonna be like
it.
so they have
That's
more houses.
discussion, I guess, I don't know. I mean, that's what we talked about last year, but,
Alright.
so,
We should add it on there and have the discussion.
just discussion of Rocky, future of,
Future of Rocky
Yes.
Hills Park.
yeah.
So basically what we, I think, want worded on there is that at the annual meeting, there will be a discussion of the possible sale of the.
I would just say
Castle Rock.
discussion of the future of the park.
Okay, yeah, a discussion on the future of Castle Rock Park.
Rocky Hills Park.
Or Rocky Hills Park. Sorry about that.
So I came in and helped Nikki get this out today. So on the bottom left, it has candidate forum, that's from last year, so we need to strike that. The very last thing in the bottom left. Because the township residents are hosting a candidate forum.
Oh.
That was from last
Yep.
year, so get rid of that. And where else was there? So on the last sentence, we're at the annual meeting on the evening of March 20th, it should be March 10th, I typoed that.
Yep, right here.
Yep. On the reverse side, it should be, so on the third line, it's supervisors C and D, not A and D. So that needs to be fixed. That was me.
How do you think you would have caught that one, huh?
Well, it was upside down.
It is.
So it's, and then Nikki, did I spell your last name right, where it says clerk? I feel like I've seen it tonight with an L.
Loefler.
Yep, so L-E-R. So I mistyped that. So then I added, the other addition was where it has the meetings, second Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. through April 2026, 7 p.m. thereafter.
Can't we just say every other week there?
What?
Every week. Seems like it.
It's the second Tuesday after the first Monday. So is that, you okay with how that's written? Because that's what we've agreed to, right, so far? Yeah.
Yep.
And then,
So through, wait, 6 PM through April. So is the April meeting at 6 PM?
that's what we had on the motion.
Okay,
So then, when you guys do the reorg in April, it'll have to be before 6.
so we're gonna need to schedule the reorg for 5:30.
5:30. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that.
Yep. Make a mental note.
And Russ's thing was, we didn't get an updated one, you didn't get an updated one from Russ, so it's the one from last year.
I'll be using the same one that we have on file from his last.
Okay, that's what's in here.
Yep.
And the only thing I changed on his was, instead of being married for 42 years, I changed it to 43. I just added a year to his, oh, does it say that? Oh, it does say that. For Supervisor D. All right, that's a good catch.
Oh, yeah.
So it says Supervisor A is a write-in, Supervisor Stone should be Supervisor D, period.
Period, yeah, get rid of it, the writing.
Good catch.
Yeah. Funny he didn't send one.
Well, you had to register last year, so.
So, it's the 10th, right? I just want to make sure that the dates are all right.
Yeah, I was just starting to look at that.
So March 10th is Tuesday.
And the polls are open 10 to, did I see that?
10 to
10 to 8, okay.
And I didn't change it, like, oh, that was, I assume
Yep.
that's right. I don't know, I'm not an election guy. Is that right, Sandy?
Is-
Polls 10 to 8?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, for the March elections, 10-8.
10 to 8,
And then
okay.
I think the annual meeting's at 8:30, I think.
That's what it says on here.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well, I think that's gonna be a late one this year.
it's gonna be an awfully long annual meeting,
I think so.
3 hours. Minimum.
We're here 3 right now.
All right.
I would agree.
Other than that, I think, Township elections and that reverse side says March, that's the wrong date, so March 10th, 2026. Right to the right of the flags.
Yep.
Got that one.
I think that's hopefully it.
It looks pretty good now.
Are we sure all the phone numbers were correct? Last year, Molly had to reprint those because she typoed one phone number wrong.
Did I spell your name right? I feel like I always
I don't know.
throw an E after
What are we
A.
looking?
Just on your upper left here.
It looks good, yep.
Okay.
And your phone number's right, Pete?
Yep,
Okay.
that is correct. Spelt right, numbers right.
All right.
Supervisor C, I assume is right. I don't even know what letter I am. But you're right.
Supervisor C.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never paid attention.
D.
What are you, Jordan, you're A or you? You're A, okay.
All right. I think I'm good
I
then.
think it looks good.
Okay, do we need a motion?
Yes.
I would say so.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the Chronicle with edits.
BJ makes motion to approve the Chronicle with edits. Do I have a second?
Second.
Norm seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I'm just gonna give you my copy.
Thank you.
Okay, audit. I don't know what that's on there for. I'm assuming somebody else put that on.
I put it on.
Okay.
After our last meeting, Jerry, when you came in here and said, don't get excited when them checks were in the drawer, I was already excited. My opinion, no one in the right mind operates a business that way. So, I asked Pete to come in, we were in here and talked to Jaylene for one day, because we're signing these papers to saying where the money's going and how it's being spent, and we're responsible for it. So, we went through all the CDs, we found out pretty much all the money and that's there and that. But when it comes to these checks in the drawers,
Are we talking the escrow
checks and all of that stuff, we asked how they're being paid or how it's being deducted or where the bills and that are and stuff and that. And Jaylene says we can't find anything. We found a couple of the checks where there was a sticker on it where it said how much it was to put it in the paper. But like when it came to the cemetery where Bolton and me went out there how many times last summer, no recording of anything where it's being deducted from